Okay, here we are again. We have the intro this time, and it will stick with us for a little while. Oop, I forgot to close my blinds. Hold on a moment. Oh, look, Elle and Rollo are on the title screen with us now. That's cool. I'm gonna have to break my typical stereotype of Rollo over the course of the playthrough as well, because I almost always say that Rollo is male for some reason, even though Rollo is female. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me, but we'll probably fix that over the course of the playthrough, or I'll just get some kind of weird gender confusion and keep misidentifying Rollo, which is to my own detriment every time it happens. Excuse me. We'll see what happens. I don't know. There's so many questions at the moment and not enough answers when it comes to this game, especially with the story. So just wait till my clocks tick over. 7:01. Take a drink and then we'll get moving. All right, there they go. And there I go. And where I go, this game go, because that's what we're doing for the next 2 hours and 55 minutes. All right, here goes something. I may be tired, I may be yawning, I may be sleepy, but the capitalist hellscape does not wait for the tired man, comrade. It simply exploits them. That was the worst Russian impression you'll probably hear today. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Tales of Xillia 2, the Stream Edition. Last time we began our adventure as this gentleman, Ludger, And, well, in the space of 2 hours and 45 minutes, we went from being broke as a joke to being broke as a joke with crippling medical debt because we got into a very large-scale train accident that very nearly killed all of us. So we owe 20 million gold. We haven't made a payment on it yet, but we owe 20 million gold, and now we need to do something about that. And part of the do something about that is going out into the wilderness to hunt monsters and materials because people need them, and they're willing to pay other people to get them instead of getting them themselves. So that's where we come in. No insurance, nothing. Just go out in the wilderness and find this shit and bring it back to me. So that's the plan. I'm going to avoid getting around Straw Hat because if I recall correctly, there is one actually located in the next area, I want to say. So, and basically my plan that I did last time and now I'm going to follow through on is that I'm going to get Luger helmets, like actual head helmets like this, and I'm going to have him also wear coats. So basically he gets a helmet, he gets a coat. I think there's a leather coat in the next area as well. You know, I may as well just buy these things because I have the money. And then if we get the extras, we can just sell the extras later. I think I'm gonna do that, even though you know what I'll do? Here's what I'll do. I'll buy new weapons, okay? I won't buy new armor just yet because I think there's new armor on the Alest High Road. I will, however, buy new weapons because I don't think there's any weapons available on the High Road. So I'll buy steel gauntlets for Jude, twin swords for Luger, and look at that, we're spending even less money than we would have if I bought all that armor. But no matter what, it will give us an upgrade so that way we can kill the monsters faster and therefore get our jobs done faster so that we can, you know, get paid quicker. Because now we have to be efficient or else the world will leave us behind and we will not be very efficient at our jobs and therefore will not be very useful to the gig economy. Okay, we have 1,100 gold left. Now, I mentioned last time that these items here, the ones that we used for shop expansion in the last game, are primarily used for a different reason other than just selling them. But to be honest, I looked at the list of things available from the other mechanic that you can use these for, and I'm not really keen on it. Like, it just doesn't really trip my trigger. Like, I looked at the stuff that's available and I'm like, I don't really see myself buying any of these items, so I don't know how true that is yet, but I'm going to keep this stuff for now. And if it gets to the point where we unlock that other mechanic and I see what's available and I'm like, okay, well, I don't really want any of this. I'll just sell stuff that we don't need. They don't sell for too much just yet. I think they start selling for more later, but I'm not 100% sure about that, so I guess we'll find out. All right, let's save. We've got a few jobs to do. Out into the wilderness we'll go, and then we will move right along. So we have the Alest High Road, our first high road of the game. And you may remember that my opinion of these high roads was not so stellar in the previous game because it felt like it separated the game's story into islands. Nobody's really here yet, at least none of my usual audience is here yet, I don't think. Can I see who is? I don't think I can see it on mobile. So I would like to talk about the high roads and how they are structured in this game versus how they're structured in the previous game. Because honestly, just your, first impression is basically going to be, oh, okay, so they're the same as they were in the last game, which means they're going to split the game's story up into islands again, right? Not exactly. I have thoughts on it, but I don't want to share them until, there's actually people here to talk to about the thoughts, because I think the thoughts are pertinent, so... where would I check? Is it in my event list? Yeah, the jobs menu is in here. Okay. So we can check this out. We need to get 2 fossilized shells and 1 iron sand, along with some beautiful feathers. It scrolled past before I could see what it was. It says the beautiful feathers. We need 10 beautiful feathers, 1 iron sand, 2 fossilized shells, and then we need to defeat 5 less chirpies and 4 less plants, and then we can go back for more work. Probably because I'm gonna... You know what I might do, actually, though, before we start killing monsters, is I might actually... Oh, that's, by the way, this glowing thing with the circular electron-looking stuff around them. It's kind of rainbowy on my screen. I don't know how rainbowy it is over there because sometimes the color saturation is a little different on the stream, but this is a new thing that'll give you elemental ore for your equipped extractors if you use it. So, keep an eye out for those because they will come in handy. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do a modification of what I did in the previous game when it came to High Roads, where I collected, I think we did almost exactly this. Oh, okay, and it'll even tell you when the job's ready to be reported. That's also good. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and collect all the treasure first in the whole area, and then we'll kind of backtrack and get the monsters in the area. However, I think the modification I'm going to do for it is I'm not just going to cover the singular area that we're in, I'm going to cover the whole high road, like get all of the treasures from that first before we start killing monsters on our way back. Because we can get all of the materials that we need, but we also will get treasures that will help us kill the monsters faster, either through weapons, or through armor, or through items that we can use in battle. So it's kind of a slight modification to how it was previously. And speaking of modifications, I think actually what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take Yggdrasil off of Ludger. Let me see how much he's got. He's almost at 50. I think I'm going to take this off of Ludger for right now. And I'm going to give him... I'll give him Shine for right now. And then we'll give Jude Yggdrasil because he didn't get to use it at all in the last episode, so now he's just kind of sticking at 47 water points, but this will give him a little bit of extra points to kind of get him a little closer. Typically, I want to prioritize Ludger because he's present for the entire game. He's your main character, he'll be in the party the whole time, so usually you want to prioritize him with Yggdrasil, but since we've only got the 2 party members for right now, and we're kind of just putzing around doing odd jobs, I might as well give it to the person who needs it more, you know? Plus, I'm not sure if Jude actually gets good use out of water element, allium, to be fair, over the course of his whole time. Like I said, I didn't really look up too much before playing this one. The primary reason for that, though, was... Oh, Kitty Crisps. So we'll talk about Kitty Dispatch in a little while. We don't have access to that just yet, but it will come in handy. But yeah, the primary reason why I didn't really look up a whole lot of stuff before playing this game is because the information that's available on the internet is fairly scarce, actually, for this game. In my opinion, there's actual holes in the available information that make it pretty difficult to like actually get a whole ton of good info about what happens in the game, because like you can look at the official, well, not the official, but the unofficial FAQs on GameFAQs and everything like that, and everybody kind of lists certain things, but there's holes in the knowledge there. There's certain things that are missing, there's certain things that just aren't present at all, certain things that aren't talked about. So it kind of makes me feel like it's better for me to simply just kind of go for it and see what I can find just as I play the game and just feel it out, you know. We didn't get recovery ring yet. We got whatever. You know what would be nice on this menu, actually, is to see what learned skills you got recently, because that would make things a little bit easier. Oh, okay, so it shows you right here what you've gotten when it says learned a skill. So we got Vitality and Intelligence. And do I want Intelligence over Magic Guard? Not really. I think I'd rather have Magic Guard for Ludger. It'd be different if it was somebody else, but for Ludger specifically, I think I want Magic Guard over Intelligence for now. I'm eventually going to equip all of these 5% skills, but they're a little bit different from how they were in the first game because most characters don't get access to the level 2 skills at all, and they only get access to 1 level 3 skill, so equipping all the level 1 versions of these stat boosters can be very useful. It can allow you to do some good stuff because your stats will be a little higher, which will make your damage be a little better and will make your defense be a little better and all that stuff. So I would say equip it as best you can. More ore. But yeah, another reason, like I said, why I wanted to go get this stuff. First of all, it's because I don't remember what treasures are available in the area, so I figure I might as well go look. And second of all, it'll get us some ore, and it'll get us some weapons and armor, and all of those will help us kill things faster, which will make the killing parts of our job a little bit easier. Gotta be efficient in order to, like I said, make it in this system that this game has. So, oh good, I'm back to collecting shit. Maybe I should have let Jude out of his cage to be the primary party member so he could collect up the shit. There's a weird fragment. I think that one I actually do want to hang on to for the purpose of using in the other mechanic that I was talking about before. With those sellable items, the ones that don't really seem to have much of a function. I believe the weird fragment sells for a decent chunk of money, but I like I said, I think I do actually want to hang on to it for something, so we'll see how that works out. I think that was Solid Guard that Jude just got there, so... But yeah, sometimes it's nice to just kind of wander around collecting up elemental ore. As far as I'm aware, it's similar to the treasure spots that are available in the first game, where if you exit the area, so like if I went to the town that's over there, which if we look on the map is Triglyph, if I just went into Triglyph and then I came back here, all of the treasure spots and the elemental ore spots would respawn. Now, later on in the game, obviously, getting elemental ore from these spots is going to become... increasingly worse because, well, you're only getting 4 or 5, 3. Occasionally you might get 10 from the spots. It's fairly, I think it's random, like there's a certain range that it could be. But, yeah, grabbing those later on in the game isn't really going to do us a whole lot of good. It will get us a little bit closer to the elemental ore that we'll need, but in order to get all of the non-skill, or not skill, art upgrade skills, I believe each character in the game needs around 11,000 allium ore, and that's only, like, that's for all elements, basically. They actually, I don't know if it's for all elements. I think certain elements that's correct, but certain other ones it's not, so. It depends on the character, basically. Alright, now what in the hell is going on here? Oh. Okay, sounds like a plan. I won't stick around then. But yeah, there's another reason for us to not go back to Triglyph or any town for right now, because we might as well grab all of the stuff that's available there first and see, again, if there's anything that I can use in terms of stuff that I can equip. There actually wasn't any stuff that I can equip unless I missed something, which is possible. I might have missed like a treasure cave or something around here, so I guess I could go look again before we start killing things. Actually, I think I did miss one right over here. Yeah, definitely missed this one. So let's go have a look before this horse murders me. Is it a horse? Is it a deer? Who knows? There's a round straw hat. I thought there was one somewhere around here. So we'll give that to Jude because that's what he came equipped with. And probably for the main, like I said, for the main cast from the first game, I'll probably stick to that formula of just give them what they had equipped when they come into the party. So Jude will keep caps and guards as his primary armor pieces. Not that Jude can equip anything else in the armor slot, but his headgear could be different, but we won't bother with that. As for Luger, we'll stick with helmets and coats. It might make him look a little bit on the silly side because a closed helmet with a trench coat would probably make you look like some kind of LARPer, but that's okay. RPG equipment never really had to be particularly like functional until it all started displaying in front of the, like if you put it on, it displayed on the character model. And even up to this point, not a lot of games did that. At this point that this game came out in 2012, it only started to really take off probably in the 2010s, although I think it was occasionally something that came about in other times, but it really wasn't something that you saw in RPGs a lot for a little while. So alright, now for the killing part.
We got this.
What are you weak to anyway, buddy? You're weak to
Over already?
strike, based on the fact that Jude just punched you and you died. So we'll keep that in mind. How do I want to do this with food? We don't really have a lot of food at the moment, so I don't really want to like overdo it food-wise. I think I'll just stick with just, doing this, basically. Okay, you're resistant to that, so we'll keep that in mind. Just gonna wait. Alright, Jude, get over here. Dual conquest time. Oh, okay. Thanks, buddy.
This is nothing.
You know, looking away like that, Jude, makes it seem like it's not nothing. You really need to seek therapy, dude. Like, I don't think I can stress this more strongly. Seek help. If you attack an enemy with its strong attribute, not only will the damage doled out be cut in half, but the enemy will be able to counter you without staggering. Again, resist hits, prevent the enemy from staggering. You can use that to your advantage in certain situations, like with a particular glitch, but we'll talk about that later, especially when Samu gets here. But, yeah, they'll have a high chance of counterattacking as well if you hit them with resist hits, because they just won't stagger, so they'll think, oh, cool, I can just attack now. So, yeah, just be careful with that. I'm coming in hot! And try to be mindful of your enemy's weaknesses. You can always check them at the beginning of a fight by pressing and holding the circle button, or whatever your target button is. So, for example, here. So these guys are weak to earth, strong against wind. Opposite for the Elest horse. Hey, it is a horse. Okay, cool. I didn't charge up. Gonna wait until here he comes. So. Probably shouldn't have gone after him immediately there. Okay, well, we can still use that for dual conquest purposes, so... And we got both of them. I guess so.
I'm getting stronger.
We'll see. Oh yeah, so I have to talk about how I feel about the high roads in general, and I also have to talk about there is a specific reason why Jude is weaker in this game than he was in the previous game, and why a lot of, pretty much everyone that we saw would be weaker in this game than they were in the first game. There's an actual in-universe explanation for it that I didn't even consider last time, so I'll talk about it again when people get here. If nobody gets here, I'll just talk about it in, like, I don't know, an hour or something, but I'd like to wait until people are here before I talk about it. Alright, well, just dual conquest, even though I've got a thing waiting for me.
We got this.
All too easy.
Something like that. In case it wasn't clear yet, I think I talked about it last time, but Luger will generally be mostly quiet with grunts and poses and stuff like that, while L will be providing all of the color commentary that we'll be getting, so...
We got this.
You get the hell out of here. I wonder if I've got anything with Falling Thunder. Well, I'm not going to find out now, but, you know. I gotta tell you, I cannot wait until we get access to level restore. I might honestly equip Yggdrasil on people just to get them to level restore faster. Like, just in case. I don't know. We'll see. How we doing anyway on Allium Orb stuff? I think I needed Earth and Light in order to get level restore with Luger. I think. Let me just check. I can always swap these around. There it is. Yes, I needed Earth and Light Elemental in order to get access to level restore. So getting him on Shine is actually inadvertently very priority for him because it'll get him access to level restore faster. I don't know when Jude gets it, but I guess we'll find out soon. I might be able to find out now. There it is. It's just Earth and Light. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was different for everybody, but apparently it's just the same for both of them at the very least. I imagine that would mean it's the same for everybody, but if it's not, well, we want to focus on Earth and Light for everybody at first in order to get them access to level restore ASAP. So, because in case it wasn't clear, you'll get more people in your party than just Jude and Luger in this game. The whole cast from Xillia 1 is still around. Again, some of them it makes more sense than others, but we'll see. No, I do not have an actual attack with Falling Thunder.
Hey, you did it!
So,
I guess you're not too bad.
Link art with Jude, I should say.
Now
I guess
have
we
the
can just
strength to
check it.
protect.
The same way that we did previously, we can check it, so. Like if we just go to arts and then we go to the linked arts menu like this, we can find out which arts are linked, and it's just dual conquest for right now, so that's fine. But we'll make do with that. You know, I might actually use Swift Strike at some point because it might come in handy until we get the what I would consider to be the direct upgrade to Swift Strike. But we'll talk about that in a little while. All right, so Jude got all of his. You know, maybe I'd give it to Luger, Yggdrasil again, just because that way he can get all of these at 50, because then he'll have access to all of those stats. So maybe I do that, and then I switch Jude back to thing, because right now Luger's at almost 100 in shine, so in light, that is. So maybe I do that. I think now would be a good time to eat that pudding cake, actually. Oh, hang on, I gotta do this so that I remember to do it. Gotta eat food from the L3 menu now. They gave me a shortcut. If I just do it the same way that I did it in the previous game, it's gonna be like ignoring the new shortcut that they gave me. So let's not. Yeah, the enemies around here shouldn't be too tough to deal with. Should be able to kind of get them just from doing basic combos. We've kind of already got a pretty decent combo going for Luger, just from the stuff that we have been using, where we'll use... I got a title called The Pixie. Okay, cool, I guess. Yeah, we've kind of already got a basic combo for Luger with the swords going, just from doing what we've been doing, where we'll power charge and then we'll beat him up. And then disintegrate, power charge again. Ow. I didn't get a chance to do that, now I'm getting my ass kicked, so... See if I catch somebody. Maybe this person. Well, I got that one at the very least.
I can do this.
Nice. Good teamwork, dude.
You've gotten stronger.
I was gonna say, so we're gonna get some new skills, but I think we've also got enough beautiful feathers now. Yeah, job ready to report. So, with the job being ready to report, that means, let me look at the library again. Where was it? It was an event list, that's where it was. Underway, complete, no, those are not correct. We have the fossilized shells. We do not have some iron sand. I'll have 300 grams. We also don't have the LS plants defeated, so we're going to have to go find some of that iron sand. Probably they drop iron sand, and that's why we don't have it yet. So the unfortunate part about some of these is that they don't actually tell you how many of each thing you have. So, like this one in particular doesn't tell you how many you have, but certain ones do. Mostly the ones that are like, they don't have 3 lines of required dialogue, so like goods, location, amount. This one has deliver, place to claim, so it won't tell you how many you have. So sometimes you have to look, which is a pain, but... Okay, yeah, so see, we don't actually have enough beautiful feathers yet, so we don't want to report back until we have enough of them. And that means defeating more chirpies, so... We'll just run around and beat everything up, though, because why not? We could use the practice.
If I must.
We must. But yeah, once we get some aerial combos in here, I feel like the combo that we have going for Luger right now will make it a lot easier for us to...
Can't you, Jude?
Well, almost.
How do you do that? What's your secret? Can you teach me? Can I learn too? Huh?
Guess your questions are the one thing I can't dodge.
At least for now. Oh boy. Jude's not used to having small children around, I guess. He's mostly been with people his own age for a while. Well, other than Alvin. And Rowan, to be fair. I guess depending on your thought process, you could also consider Elise to be a young person, but not that young by comparison. Jude, stop Cerberus striking the thing that's weak to wind. It's not going to work out too well. Blech.
Hey, you did it! I guess you're not too bad.
And yeah, like it says there, if you're going to be fighting enemies anyway, make sure you take the jobs on that lets you fight enemies and kill them, and then you can get paid for it. So sometimes you actually don't want to kill everything in an area. You only want to kill enough to actually just do the job. In this particular case, though, since we're kind of running around anyway, we might as well kill them to get some extra experience. But yeah, it's probably actually more efficient to not do it that way. So, like, you probably want to do it by getting jobs, killing just the enemies that the jobs tell you to kill, coming back to a town, and then
Now I have the strength to
getting
protect.
more jobs. So it'll get you done with that stuff faster than doing it this way. So we'll just do it this way because, I don't know, I'm already in the process of doing it, and the Elest High Road is a small place, but later on it'll be a lot larger of places, so we won't have that luxury. Did I take Yggdrasil off Ludger, or did I leave that on him? I did leave that on him, damn it. Okay, so he's there, so let's put Shine back on him. And then you've got a whole lot to work with. Okay, I guess you had Droplet on for a little bit, so that's why you've got what you've got. But yeah, again, we want to keep working on level restore as best we can. If we can keep everybody kind of even on their progress for level restore, we should be in better shape, I think. I'm not going to worry about stunning enemies, I don't think, too much, to be honest. It's, you know, obviously in my best interest, but I don't have enough to do Azure Edge.
You okay?
Thanks, Jude. But you brought the other guy over here with me. Oh, I can't get you up. My bad, buddy.
Now I have the strength to protect.
I really need to stop having Jude tell me to collect up this beast dung. I cannot imagine it's going to be that useful. I don't know how much it sells for, though, to be fair. Did I not get this before? No, I didn't get this before. Oh, there's Iron Sand. Okay, well, if we needed it, now we have it. So, I already killed enough Chirpies, and I think I have enough Beautiful Feathers now, so maybe now I say fuck it. And no, I think I need more Beautiful Feathers for the same sort of reason that I need that weird fragment, so I think I'll wait. Good, I kind of separated the enemies without thinking about it there, so. And honestly, with regular enemies, you can kind of just do, like, an endless loop with this combo where you do this, and then well, you can dual conquest if you want to, but you don't have to, so.
Nothing can stop us. Yeah.
We're doing pretty well there, Jude.
You
5
got
beautiful
strong.
feathers. That should help.
I feel like we're starting to work together pretty well. This is just a small token of my esteem. I hope it'll come in handy for you. Until next time.
Thanks, Jude. What'd we get? So, something I didn't mention previously is that linking now has other effects outside of just giving you access to link darts in this game. Because of the affinity system, you can actually gain passive affinity just by linking with a character in your party. In this case, we've been linked with Jude long enough for us to actually get the affinity boost up to 1 heart with him, and when you get the affinity boost up to 1 heart with him, he'll give you the Assault Step Ludger book, skill book, which allows Ludger to use Assault Step himself. Now, if you remember from the first game, Assault Step I actually ended up taking off because I didn't like the fact that it sort of gave me the quick step that is present by default in this game, so I don't think I'm going to equip that one, to be honest, but it's there. And I believe because of the affinity system, Ludger gets access to it earlier than Jude does, which is a little crazy. Like 12 SP for that? No, I don't think so. You can't make me equip it like that. So it does make me wonder what how you get SP in this game, though, because Ludger has a clear advantage over Jude in SP at the moment. And I'm not sure why, but, you know. You know, HP gain, actually, and TP gain would probably be pretty useful in this one because we don't currently have access to level restore. It'll be almost immediately dwarfed by level restore and food once we get access to better food and, well, level restore itself. But, you know, until then it might be useful if I have enough SP left to even equip it, which I do not. Guess I should have seen that one coming. So you don't gain access to power. Something I should remember to keep people in mind with is that if you're planning on not really using the character that much, you can unequip Power Charge because the AI can Magic Guard and does benefit from Solid Guard, but does not benefit from Power Charge because they never Power Charge, basically, as far as I'm aware, because they don't use AC. So if you're never planning on using the character as anything other than an auto character, you can unequip Power Charge very safely and be fine. I am planning on using Jude at some point, so since that's the case, I'm probably not going to unequip Power Charge at any point whatsoever. I'm probably going to have it equipped on all the characters because of the fact that I'm planning on using all of them during specific side content in the game. So, like, when the side content is about them, basically. But since that's not a problem yet, if you want to unequip it, you can. Especially, again, if you're never going to use the character for anything other than as a CPU-controlled character. So, okay. Strike them! I can't strike at the moment, dude, but I'll keep it in mind for when I can.
Let's be sure to keep this up.
That's the plan, little lady. Just need to find some plants so we can kill 4 of them. Didn't realize that was going to be such a high commodity around here. Ah, let's just kill everything else on the way back. Why not? Oh, look, there's a plant on... So plants must spawn specifically on this screen, then.
Something weird happened.
Sorry.
Oops, we've been led. Jude, what did you do? Well, at least he has access to recovery ring to fix it.
I should be helping, not hurting.
Well, I mean, you decided not to be an actual doctor, Jude. You decided to be a researcher, so at certain points you might have to hurt, especially since you have to go out in the field to procure the materials for your research. Yeah, so there you go. That's another thing to keep in mind, is that the enemies will probably hit you with the element that they are strong against when you attack them. So, like, they don't usually use physical attacks unless they have a sword or a gun or a blunt instrument of some kind in this game. Usually the element that they use is just plain old whatever their strong attribute is. So if an enemy's strong against earth, then their attack element when they use physical attacks will be earth element as well. So what that means basically is that if you have something like Earth Guard, it will allow you to resist everything that the enemy does rather than just their spells in this game. It kind of simplifies things a little bit, but it's almost nice. It feels a little like a quality of life feature. We must not be able to encounter Link yet, because I definitely should have died there if we could. Guard first, Falling Thunder now. No crit, that's fine. By the way, don't keep your back to enemies if you can afford not to, because you will definitely get hit out of your guard stance if you do that. So
How too easy.
they break guard a little bit easier in this game. So. And yeah, also there are different methods of breaking out of magical ailments in this game, or you can equip accessories that reduce the chance or prevent them completely, which we bought last game, but we never ended up using. Defeated the specified number of a less chirpy. That's... I forget what that was all about. I think it's in the enemy data section, or is it in the battle book? Let's see. By SP, toggle info. Maybe that's how you get SP in this game. I'm trying to remember how to check this. I don't remember how to check this, but maybe it's in the battle book. No, it's not. Okay. But basically what you can do in this game is you defeat a certain number of enemies, and that defeating a certain number of enemies will actually cause your characters to gain additional SP in the process of doing that. Again, I don't know how to... Okay, that's how you check it, is down here. Okay, it's just in the bestiary for you. So if you defeat a lot of a certain number of enemy, you might end up with a pretty solid amount of SP, because the characters will just... I think they just gain SP from doing it. I don't think there's like a way for them to not gain that. So basically, like, if we defeat 4 more or less Ribbits, Jude will get SP. If we defeat 5 more horses, then Luger will get SP. We defeat 14 more plants, Luger will get SP. I like getting the level 1 versions of these, although it doesn't always happen. But It's really not something that I'm going to prioritize, I don't think. It'd probably be pretty well worth it, but especially since we're already doing jobs anyway and we're killing monsters on our way to the next places anyway. But I don't know, usually I only end up getting at most the level 1 bonus before I just don't have before we're just out of the area, so I just don't end up using it again. Where do you think you're going? You trying to do some weird shit? You trying to cast or something?
Nothing can stop us.
Not happening. But yeah, the first time that you view something like this in the victory screen, where the characters will sort of do some sort of a unique pose and talk about it, that's an indication of an affinity boost. So like at a certain level of affinity after this with Jude, we'll get another unique victory screen, which will indicate that we'll have his affinity up to a certain... I think it's level 1, 3, 6, and 10, I want to say. I could be wrong, but I think that's how it works. Oh, that's how you get SP in this game. Okay, I probably should have looked that up. So basically, when you get a new skill, the character will get half of the SP that they need to assign that skill. But also, again, you can defeat certain types of enemies, and that will get you access to more SP. It's fine, I guess, as a system. Honestly, I don't know what was wrong with the other system that they decided to do it this way, but whatever. I mean, I guess it's not really going to hurt me, you know. So, I don't have to worry about it too much. Are you going to cast over there? No, you're walking. Now you're going to cast. But no, you're not, because I'm just going to cut you down. Like the plant you are. Okay, but yeah, it looks like they would give Iron Sand from defeating them the plants, so... You know what I might do in the future, actually? I'm trying to figure out on the fly how I want to do this with the jobs, basically, because it's obviously something new and different and interesting.
We can do this.
But
Yes.
The way that I might do it is I might, like, you know how I went through the whole of the Alest High Road collecting treasure just now? So what I might do, basically, is I might take up the material quests when I'm going to collect the treasures. Then I'll go back to the town, I'll, you know, load up, I'll drop off those. And then once I've collected all the treasures in the areas, even though they'll respawn when I go back, I'll take the jobs that have me killing monsters instead. So basically we'll make like one quick trip through each of the new areas, each of the new zones we'll be going to, and then we'll make one slower trip where we defeat enemies along the way. So maybe that's how I'll do it. I feel like that would be a pretty decent compromise. It does mean we have to go through each area twice, but it should be pretty quick, so... Well, now that you did that, let's just do this and then catch all three of you! Bang! We didn't quite kill all of them, but close enough. He'll be dead in a sec. Jude leveled up. We know how quick steps work. Jude's level 8. I forget how the level of the characters entering your party works in this one. I forget if it's just like, okay, well, it's according to whatever level the rest of your party already is, or if it's a set level. I guess we'll find out, won't we? Oh, hang on, Jude. I gotta go take care of this guy. No rock trying!
We got this.
You alright over there, Jude?
Nothing can stop us. Yeah.
Fiend Hunter.
You've gotten stronger.
Alright then. Yeah, gaining a few levels right at the beginning should make things... Oh, and we got just enough there to report the less plants. That's cool. But yeah, getting a few levels right at the beginning should give us a little bit of a leeway in terms of levels. I think, again, I think it's just like it was previously, where you... if you're about level 60, you'll be near the end game. Although I think I was significantly higher than that on level when I beat the game the last time, because I remember looking at my file and we were like somewhere in the 80s or something ridiculous like that. I don't know why, but that's where we were, so. Maybe we went after some of the EX monsters. We'll talk about those when we get there. We're not there yet, but we'll talk about them. Alright, so let's buy all the other stuff. We'll probably get access to like a lamellar guard and a leather coat and a bunch of other stuff over the course of doing the next section of the game, but since we're not there yet, let's just buy stuff. Also, by the way, you want to buy stuff before you turn in your jobs, because if you turn in your jobs and you go over that threshold that you see on the title screen, or not the title screen, the start screen, the pause menu, Nova will call you and she'll say, hey, you should make a payment. And then, well, you don't have to, but she will call you at certain points where she'll say, no, you have to make a payment now. And that number, it's not nebulous. I believe it's almost always double what what is listed there is the threshold, where she says, no, now you have to make a payment. But I always just buy stuff before that, just so that way I can buy everything I want with the money I have, and then I can turn in the jobs and get that money back. So, all right, so we'll equip our armor. Now that we have new armor and new weapons, we should be in pretty good shape to kill things. I could use this tomato omelet, but I don't really want to be honest. But yeah, as you can see, we get a decent chunk of stuff, and they're worth a little bit of money. They're not worth a lot at the moment. They'll probably be worth a lot more later, but for now, they're not really worth a whole ton, so. All right, so that takes care of that. I'm still not used to not hearing the ka-chow, like the little sound effect that happens when you get shop expansion points in the first game. It's just hearing it go ka-chung, and that's it. Makes it feel so much colder and more impersonal, which I guess reflects the capitalist hellscape that this game is, doesn't it? Oh boy. All right, so for Luger and Jude, I think I would rather have boots, so I'm gonna get 2 pairs of boots. Buy them, and we'll equip them, and we will love them. Oh, wait, you're not supposed to have the lamellar guard. Why can't you equip the trench coat? Isn't the trench coat? Okay, I don't know what's going on. You're supposed to have the lamellar guard, that's all I know. I gotta check this now. Trench coat. Where'd it go? Did it not buy it? Did I not buy it? Did I like turn it off for some reason? Hold on. Unequip that. You have the lamellar guard. There we go. I thought I had it on the purchase list, but I could be wrong. Let's go try it again. Yeah, no, there it is. Okay, well, I don't know why it... Maybe I turned it off. Maybe that's... Oh, you know what? Maybe I did this and I went back. I don't know. Either way, I'm buying it for a little bit, so let's just do that. Like I said, I don't know what happened. Maybe I turned it off, or maybe I just didn't turn it on to begin with. I wasn't paying attention. Doesn't matter. The point is that... There you go. Now he's got a coat. And we can sell Jude's other guard. And we can go from there. So. Alright, but we are fully kitted and equipped now, so let's turn in our jobs and then take some more if we need them. Report completion. We finished... Oh, you know, I gotta go drop these off before I report completion. Let's go drop off the girl's gift at the station first. And then we can report all of them complete, and we can take on some more if we need to. So, let's just wait for everybody to spawn in so I can find this girl. I believe it shows up on the map. Yeah, as an exclamation point, so... I mean, little girls are always making presents for their dads, so... And also there's that. Wah, wah. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense, so... Well, I'm pretty sure feathers is everybody's thing. It's not really a... Oh, there you go. Well, he likes wearing masks, so... These children are very hostile towards one another. Be funny if it just turned to us and we just put on these teeny tiny little masks just to appease her. Yeah, let's slow our jets here, kids. I'm sure he did, Jude. I'm sure he did. Maybe Elle's dad was just very festive. They're my posse. Just like Rollo. Wah wah. She could have said, oh, look, they're basically my older brothers, or, oh, well, you know, they this. No, just a bunch of weirdos. All right, thanks, Elle. That's real helpful. Okay, I have no money. I need to go get money before I can buy food. And the capitalism continues. Here's the job thing right here. So let's report the completion of all of those jobs now. And I guess we can get Elle's cap out of this one. I'm not really as interested in that as much as I am in the gold and the points and all that stuff. So there you go. I think I just bumped the mic stand, my bad. But yeah, so and you get additional jobs if you complete them. So just trying to complete them will always lead to a halfway decent. You'll get a decent reward out of it, but also you'll get access to better jobs. So, you know, it's pretty good. Excuse me, it's a pretty good deal overall, especially considering it's a gig, basically. All right, I don't know where I'm at money-wise after that. We don't have access to this yet. Jolene's Plea, Part 1. Still can't do this until we get Wooden Badge. Honestly, I could just report these in right now because we've got a whole bunch of these already. So let's just see where we're at in terms of money first. 4,066. So yeah, so we're not quite at the threshold yet. So since we're not quite at the threshold yet, let's just take a couple of jobs that are nice and quick and easy to do. Like, for example, this one, which I can just do right away. And there you go. And then this one, which again, do right away. Grumpy Gus, you can have this shit. Here you go. I don't need it. And that's that. So now we are definitely over the limit in terms of the amount of money. So I was gonna say I'm either gonna get a call.
Don't forget those payments, okay?
From Nova, or I'm going to have to call her myself in order to do that. All right, but anyway, let's pay the 5,000 gold. And that takes us down by 5,000. We now owe 19,995,000
Another surly
gold.
payment from Luger. Oh, surly is just industry slang for super early. So keep
Sure
up
it
the
is.
surly acts from now on, okay?
You're just making shit up at this point, Nova. Once you've paid back a given debt, your next goal will be displayed. Feel free to proceed with the main story at this point if you wish. You can continue to repay your debt even while progressing through the main story. If you keep repaying as much as you can, something good is sure to happen. And that is correct. We'll talk about it after the skip. Oh, that's my phone. Hello?
Hey, Ludes. Nova here with some good news.
Lay it on me.
The payment you just made, I was able to lift the travel restriction on Duval Station. Just keep those payments flowing, and everything will go nice and smooth. You go, Luger!
Thanks, I guess. Bye. Well, I guess that helps.
She doesn't take things very seriously, does she?
Not even remotely, no. So, when she said, I've been able to lift the travel restrictions on Duval Station, that means we can now buy a ticket at Duval Station in order to go to the next place that we need to go to. So, if we, well, first let me save it real quick. And then we'll move along. But basically, if we go to the ticket kiosk now, we can actually purchase a ticket to go to one of the other train stations. So, for example, go here, check this. Now we can purchase a ticket to go to Triglyph Central Station. In this case, the tickets are free. I believe in other cases, the tickets are not free. I think in certain cases, you actually do have to pay for a ticket. But in this case, I think they're close enough to where the tickets are free. I think if you cross where the schism used to be, that's where it starts to charge you money, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So, you can open the map by pressing square. We know that part. The square and the exclamation point icons may occasionally appear in high places, so if you can't find them at first, adjust the height. So now there's an actual reason for adjusting the height of the map outside of just seeing where other areas are. You can use that in order to find your destination. I would check for food, but I'm not sure if, we have much money left to spend on food now that we've spent a lot of our money on the payments of Luger's debt. I can't even buy medium pudding cakes. I guess I could buy a small one, though, to be fair. Oh, okay, they've got Mabo Curry available. That might also be a decent purchase because you get 30% more gold from this. Which would probably be most useful in boss fights. Like, I might honestly use this instead of, like, the fruit yakisoba that I was using in the last game. Just using the thing that gives you extra gold during boss fights might help us quite a bit. Sorry, stretching, to get our debt down. So maybe I'll grab one of these as well. And then we'll just keep the tomato omelet for whatever reason. And then we'll go from there. I think we've got enough items. A relief.
Triglyph at last.
I guess it's good to be home.
Well, I'm just glad we made it back safely.
And not
There's
dead.
something comforting about coming back here.
Yeah, so you have good memories of being here in the past?
I certainly have vivid ones. This is where we came when we first arrived at Olympias.
Ah, that's
about
right,
Triglyph
because the
surprised
schism
me.
got dispelled.
Huh? Like what?
Well, for one thing, we'd been fighting on a different plane of existence when a rift opened up and we were sucked into it.
Uh-huh.
Huh?
The next thing I remember, I was waking up in a bed, surrounded by objects I'd never seen before.
This story's getting more and more
Surprised
far-fetched,
by,
Jude.
well, how much there was to be surprised by.
You'd think you'd have sensory overload.
Surprises me is how happy you look when you're telling that story.
It is a little odd, isn't it? What kind of a person are we traveling with here? So probably our next destination is going to be directly at Spurious, isn't it? No, it's not. Okay. So... Oh, but actually, no, I know where it is. It's back at Luger's apartment because that's where they said, hey, you can go there now and, you know, then you can be home and then you can find out if Julius is still there so you can ask him about what the hell's going on. So we'll go do that. But I think we might actually go to the items area in Triglyph as well because that is the same as it was previously when we played this game played the first game, rather. The commercial district is the same. So is the harbor. And, well, we can not only use them for grabbing items, not that we need them at the moment, we can also use it for grabbing jobs and finding out what's available, I think, on the Torbalon High Road. You're not going to tell me about that, so I'll keep that in mind. Probably it's closer to the Torbalon High Road is where they'll tell me what to expect out of it, because that's over here, right? Let's head home for now. Okay, it is over here, but the guy isn't spawning because we need to go back to the apartment first before we can do any of that, so... Nothing there, obviously. And it's just these couple of things, so since that's the case, I'm just gonna go home for now. It's fine. We've done enough. We don't need to keep doing odd jobs. If you progress the story, you can actually gain access to better odd jobs as well because you... basically, you can go to different places, and going to different places allows you to gain access to jobs in those places. So once you've done that, yeah, you're in good shape. Oh, you know, I guess I can show this. If you go over here and out of this section, right here. Oh, okay, Luger won't do it. But basically, where those soldiers were before that were telling me, hey, so you don't want to generate suspicion, so maybe don't come this way. This is the entrance to that exit of the West High Road. So basically, if you went through that area, you would spawn in over there. But since we're in Triglyph, let's just head home, since Luger won't let me do anything outside of it. Is this even the right building? It's not, but I guess we haven't looked in this building yet, so, well, since the first game anyway. So let's go look in this building and see if there's anything fancy waiting for me other than just NPCs. Because we might as well enjoy the smooth jazz while we're here, although... Well, there's a lot more taking place in Olympias in this game than there was in the first game, so we should hear more of the smooth jazz more often, I think. So, I've just broken into these people's houses. They left the door unlocked, so now I can be the gremlin instead of Jude for breaking and entering and grabbing all of their stuff and taking it with me. Unfortunately, they didn't leave anything not nailed down for me to take, so nothing I can do about that, I suppose. This was, yeah, this is was Balin's room. It's probably still his room. I just don't know if he'd even be here. He's probably working, if I would have to guess. Because he worked at Helioborg before. So I gotta imagine he's still over there unless something happened and he changed careers or changed location of his job, something to that effect, I don't know. Alright, other places to go. Room 306. Who the hell knows what's in here? Some random old lady. I think this was the lady that let me grab something off of her shelf before. Apparently there's Ex Machina whiskey on the shelf this time, so that's cool. You don't mind if I take that, do you? Yeah, fair enough. If you have the opportunity for more leisure, it will open up opportunities for more intellectual pursuits, so... slowly move our society towards the impression that I get from ancient Greek society, which was that leisure activities were somewhat common. Not really like to the point where they're just sitting there everyone's sitting there doing nothing all day, but some people had access to that sort of luxury. So, alright, Ex Machina whiskey. That's all it's got on it. I forget if those are like sellable items and that's the reason why they are there, or if those are used in certain other things. Like I said, I forget. I guess we'll find out. I can always look. I believe there's not an incredible database of info for the items in this game, but I think there's at the very least a fairly comprehensive list. Is this where you live? Yes, it is. A fairly comprehensive list of the items you can use for that thing that I keep saying the items will be used for, but we haven't used them for yet, so. It doesn't make you a criminal or anything, as long as you keep paying your rent. Yeah. Add the rent on top of the medical debt, and Luger is definitely in a pickle. That is for certain. You guys have new dialogue. Well, apparently news travels fast around here. Ooh, that is the current floor. Oh, hold on. There we go. Alright, now we can go home. And by going home, we will proceed with the main story. This will get us access to Chapter 3, I believe, once we walk in the door, so...
Is this Julius's house?
You live here, Rolo?
It's mine. It's in my name. No, it's both of ours, to be fair. But yeah, he's the older brother, so he'd probably be the one on the lease. It does feel like forever, though.
Wonder when I'll get to go home.
Yeah. Sorry, kid. I don't think there's any points to earn there, so... if you're looking for points. Chapter 3, it all falls apart. How could it fall apart more? I have $19.99 million worth of medical debt to deal with.
The cat's got a point. I think we're all running on fumes.
Time for some grub. My specialty. What do we have in here?
Tomatoes are gross.
You don't like tomatoes? Blasphemy. Alright, if you don't want tomatoes, I won't put any in. We'll get you something else.
Why are grown-ups so hot on tomatoes anyway? My daddy likes them too.
They are scrumptious. Mostly I use them in sauces, but I'm sure as I get older, I will just start sticking salt and pepper on them, sticking them on a piece of bread, and throwing the whole thing in my mouth. But, you know, we'll wait on that. Thanks. Julius and I try to keep it clean. Well, Rolo, Jude, and Elle are all hungry, but since Julius isn't currently here at the moment, Julius's room, the door is locked. I was going to say, let's go check what's in his room, but we can't, so. Egg, seafood set, veggie set. Alright, well, if I need materials to make food, I have them now. I'll go check in my room if it'll let me. Yeah. Just see if I left anything behind. Oh, look at that. Pajamas. I thought that was what was in the box. No, that was in my closet right here. I have access to my pajamas now, but also a cape. And a quilt pen. Alright, cool. You can also rest here for free if you choose to, and we might do that after we have a meal. because, well, it's a free bet. I mean, why wouldn't I rest there, you know? Like, it's like Nia Kara in the first game. If I can access a free inn, why wouldn't I? You know? Alright, soup's on. Just gotta remember to make Elle something else because she won't like my soup.
Oh, this smells good.
I don't know how he made tomato soup with no tomatoes, but I guess here we are.
Thanks, Luger.
Just don't tell her there's actually tomatoes in it.
It's so
Ooh, be careful
yummy.
with it. It might be a
I feel
little
like
hot
I'm
yet.
eating at a restaurant.
Hey, you
Thanks.
as good as my daddy.
I appreciate that. I pride myself on my duties as a chef. Like, where in the world?
No. Some scary men came to our house. I ran away by myself.
Oh, that's no good.
That's why I'm going to the land of Canaan, so I can wish for my daddy to get rescued from those guys.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
Do pardon the intrusion, Luger.
Oh, no intrusion at
Mr.
all.
McCall,
If I knew you were coming,
glad to
I'd have
see
made
you're
more
okay.
food.
I'm one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, I'll say. Oh my god, ow!
Surprise, phony?
What the hell are you doing here?
I guess
Nice save,
not.
Jude. He doesn't get surprised by anything. He has snap pivot.
You're quite an amusing little fellow, aren't you, Ivor? I could use a
How do you-
This as one of my junior agents.
Know him.
Thank you, sir.
I guess he was looking to work at Spurious? How is this dipshit going to get a job at Spurious and I
Haven't
failed
been
the
watching
exam?
news, I take it.
No, we've been
New
away.
details have emerged
So.
about the terror attack, during which a train was hijacked and then crashed into the Oscorp plant. The collision caused a massive explosion that ripped through the facility. More than 2,000
Yeah, that's gonna be a little
casualties were
problematic.
reported, including passengers and employees alike.
Jesus
Damages are
Christ,
said to
that's a
exceed
hell of a
10 billion
terror
gold,
attack.
And experts estimate a final cost of at least 50 billion. Authorities identified the alleged mastermind behind the attack. An employee of Spurious Corporation, one Julius Kresnik.
How do you expect anyone to find him with a
Julius
drawing
couldn't
like that?
Couldn't have what? He attacked me at the scene of the crime for crying out loud.
The
I mean,
police
that
believe
hardly makes
Kresnik
him
didn't act
the
alone.
guilty
They're
party.
Investigating persons of interest.
Okay, so
Take a
that's why
wild
you're
guess which
here.
person is the most interesting.
You made a wanted poster for me too?
Nothing to do with those creeps.
So
Really?
the suspect's brother just happened to start his job at the station on the day of the attack. Then
Yes.
he vanished with the suspect.
Yes, also
Coincidence.
correct, because I didn't know he was there.
Come on, you
I
gotta
understand
believe
how
it.
this looks,
If you're
but
telling
it's
the
not
truth,
like
then
that.
prove it. Apprehend
Okay, how do I
Julius.
do that?
Then the facts are sure to come to light.
What?
Are you sure about that?
The scary glasses guy.
Is alive and at large.
He contacted
So he
the
got away
CEO's GHS
fine.
several hours ago.
And I had to go
He's
through
one of my
medical
top agents
hell.
and far too skilled to fall into police custody.
So what do you expect me to
Around his
do
little
about it?
brother,
I'm a civilian compared
Just
to
might let
him.
his guard down. Well, Luger, what do you say? If you agree to catch him, I'll at least keep the police from getting in your way.
That would be to my advantage. And honestly, as much as I'd like to say just hold on a second here, I'd need to know what Julius is up to as well. Just because I say I'll catch him doesn't mean that I won't defect to the other side in the 11th hour and say, no, I'm going to do what you're doing, Julius. I'm going to work with you. I don't know what you're up to with the Spurious Corporation, but I'm going to work with you. I can tell him I'm going to catch him, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to apprehend him and take him to jail myself. It means I'm going to find him, but that doesn't guarantee that I will find him and bring him in. So let's just say I'll catch him. Much as I don't like this situation, it will get me closer to Julius if I keep on his trail, so then I can find out what the
Decisively.
hell's going
You've
on.
made the right choice.
Luger.
It's not an easy situation, Jude, and
As of now,
I'll tell you
are
what my
under
thought
Spurious
process is later.
Corporation's protection.
Oh,
We have
okay,
a pair of
thanks.
promising leads. First, your brother made contact with a researcher in Helioborg named Balin.
Oh, I know Balin.
Second,
well,
sources
Jude
allege
knows
someone
Balin.
in Marksburg has been asking a lot of questions about Julius.
Really?
Balin.
How am I supposed to remember all that stuff at once, huh?
Don't worry
So
about it.
you
It's
want
in
us
our
to
journal
check out
now.
Helioborg and Marksburg. Is that it?
And in Jude's head.
But how are we gonna get there without money?
Fair question. How are we gonna get there without money,
You
Mr.
really
Bakur?
expect to get paid before doing any work? Honestly now, Luger. I thought Julius had raised you better than that.
Well, I guess it was worth a shot. Don't some people in this capitalist nightmare charge some stuff up front? You know, 50% up front and then 50% somewhere
you
else.
never told me you knew Dr. Mathis.
It's a long story. Hey, why are you going through all this trouble?
I know the surface of this man, but that is not enough. Now, I must measure his depth.
But which man are you talking about? Ludger? Julius? Yes. Well, that was a quick and easy chapter. Make some soup and then we're done. If all of them go this quick, this won't be a 19-episode project, but trust me when I tell you, they will be going a little slower. You're all geared up to get out there and find some info on Julius, but Ludger needs to pay off his debt and get his movement restrictions lifted. Do your best to pay it back.
Luger
So we got our
seems like he's
movement...
down on his luck.
Hang on.
You and me will have to work extra hard to compensate.
I guess so. Yeah, so in order to gain access to the next 2 chapters... Oh, we got free heal. Okay, that's cool. I mean, I guess I made food, so that makes sense. To gain access to the next 2 chapters, Chapter 4 and Chapter 5, we're going to have to lift the restrictions on either Helioborg or Marksburg. You get a choice of which one you want to lift first once you make the next payment, and then you lift the other one, and that's the next chapter. So basically, you pick Helioborg or Marksburg. That'll be Chapter 4. Once you do the first one, the second one will unlock at the following payment. That'll be Chapter 5. So, I'd probably go to Marksburg first. I think that one has the lesser of 2 boss fights, if I remember correctly. But for now, Skit, Ivor, and I.
I never imagined that'd be how I'd run into Ivor again.
Yeah, I never imagined he'd be working at a company that I flunked out of either.
That freak. And why does he drop down on people like that?
I love how El's already got the only read you should have on Ivor after 5 minutes with him.
Yeah, sorry about that.
He's nuts.
How can you laugh
Just
about
a bit.
it, Luger? He knocked you on your butt like it was nothing.
You know, that's fair, honestly, and he could have injured me further, which would have put me further into medical debt.
Ivor's a very skilled warrior. As Maxwell's handmaid, he had to be.
Maxwell's handmaid?
Like a
It's
servant.
Kind of a long story.
I see. Sounds complicated.
It
Yeah,
is,
It shouldn't have been, but it was.
because of
We
Ivor,
both
to be
wanted
fair.
the same thing.
We both wanted to get into Mila's panties. And that led us down a dark road. Not together, though. Completely separate. He tried to murder me. On multiple occasions, as a matter of fact. Alright, well anyway, Chapter 3 is over, so now we go do work in order to get access to Chapters 4 and 5. It might seem like this is going kind of quickly, and a lot of the stuff is like, oh, well, it's mostly side content at the moment. Not to worry. It does switch up as we move along. And it does get less grind feeling, basically,
This is terrible.
as you go along.
She's crying. Go do something.
What do you expect me to
How
Oh,
embarrassing.
okay.
Hi there. I'm Miss Kitty Cat.
Luger Kresnik, I think we live in the same building.
Lovable cats.
Yeah, you're the lady from
But I
downstairs,
didn't
right?
quite land on my feet, as they say.
No kidding.
Let's go back a sec. Did you say 100 cats? Why,
Yes.
But during the move, they all got out of the bag. They've run off.
You kept your cats in a
What am I
bag?
to do? I'm feline, so helpless.
Is that like a tick? Like, is that natural, or are you doing this on purpose to make levity of the
Don't worry,
situation?
it'll all be fine.
Jude, please don't promise something like
Can
that.
I
We
ask
don't
you
know.
For a favor? Would
Fine.
you perhaps help me find my babies? I'd be ever so grateful.
I'll tell you what, if you stop talking to me in cat puns, I might consider
Will they
it.
get along with Rolo? They're all very social. No need to be a fraidy cat.
She's still doing it. They'll get along with Rolo because Rolo's the boss, so
You
they
gotta
will
hide
listen
them.
to what
I
Rolo
just
has
can't
to
live
say.
without them. Well, my room's on the first floor here. I'm just gonna take a little cat nap until you get back.
This lady has like cat's
Please stop by
ancestry,
if you
doesn't
find
she?
Any of my babies. And remember, if cat first you don't succeed, try again. I whisker you the best of luck.
again, like, the parallels between this game and Final Fantasy 13-2 are nonsensical sometimes, because Chocolina existed in 13-2, and she made stupid chocobo puns. This lady's making stupid cat puns. Like, I cannot believe. I refuse to... Jude, stop. She just did. I refuse to believe that... I just bumped the mic stand again. Sorry. I refuse to believe that these companies did not look at each other's notes when making these games, because come on now. If you see a lost cat out there in your travels, do the right thing and catch it. If you get all 100, something catastrophically good is sure to happen. And guess what? Kitty Dispatch has been unlocked. You can dispatch the cats you find all over the world to bring back items for you in Kitty Dispatch. So basically, you have cats, you send them on missions, quote unquote, and by that I mean Rollo kicks them into shape and sends them to certain places, and yeah, they'll bring items back to you after a certain amount of time. You can only get certain items by doing Kitty Dispatch, so it's worthwhile to do.
Find the missing
Possible.
cats. That way Rollo will have more friends.
And we have the key to the kitty room now, which is terrifying, but anyway, here's the first cat right here. Carol. I don't know how she missed Carol, but, well, there's Carol anyway. But yeah, there's 100 cats, and we'll, you know, we can't catch the dogs, unfortunately, but we will catch the cat. What's up, Ivor? Oh, okay, thanks. I'm almost inclined not to take them, but we might be a little low on certain provisions, so I'll take them. We have a pebble, which gives us earth element access. Spurious blades, so those are official. We have the company's blades now. Apple gel, orange gel, life bottle. Sure, fine. How did he turn into more of an asshole between two games? Like, I already thought it was going to be really, really awful to see him again in this one, but I can't even believe how much of a difference it made just the one, just 1 year could make. But yeah, we have access to Spurious Blades now, so those are better than the twin swords. You cannot get rid of the father's swords, by the way. These are important for something later on in the game. We'll talk about it when we get there, but they're important for something, so you can't get rid of them, unlike everybody else's starting weapons. It's kind of similar to, like, the Buster Sword in Final Fantasy VII, or the, what's Barrett's first gun? I forget what Barrett's first gun is, but you also can't get rid of that one in that game. Although, in that case, it's not because they're important in the same way that the Father's Swords are, but you can't get rid of those just like you can't get rid of Father Swords in this one, so I don't think we can get into Spurious just yet. I think there's some cats available in there, but I don't know if we can get in the building yet. I could look up where the cats are, to be honest, because I'm going to mistake every small creature for a cat, to be fair. But yeah, we'll go looking. I might go back to the Alest High Road as well, because that should get us access to a couple of cats, I think. At least one from there, so. Alright, so here's Spurious. I guess they opened their doors to us now, since we are officially under the company's protection. So that's fun. Let's just have a look around, see if I can find any cats in here. Looks like I can't get through here now. Alright, fair enough. So probably I won't be interacting with most of the NPCs in this game. I don't really... I can't imagine they say anything that would be so pertinent that it would give me pause to actually stop and talk with them, you know what I mean? So, since that's the case, it'd be kind of funny if one of the receptionists was one of the cats you could catch. Like, just receptionist on the right, receptionist in the middle, cat on the left. No, I'm okay, thanks. There are two kinds of receptionists, you see. Yeah, it looks like we can't do anything here for now, so since we can't do anything here for now, and there are no cats for us to catch, let's leave and head to... I could go to the station to check and see if there's anything there. Ooh,
Hiya!
phone call.
How goes the savings spree?
Not good.
All of the company's most ruthless debt collectors try to take over your account, you know. But I fought them all off for you.
I'm sure you did. Thanks, Nova. Bye. Well, anyway. So that's not so good. it's funny because when I played this game the first time, debt collection was not really something that I was immediately aware of, like, how it worked. But the second and third times I played it actually was after I had worked at a credit union where I understood a little bit better how debt collection worked. And yeah, those people can be pretty sketchy. So it's a hell of a thing. The more adult I get, the more terrifying debt collection gets, not because I have to worry about it particularly myself right now, because all my debts are paid, thank God. But yeah, no, it's terrifying. People people can be real dickheads about that stuff. And I mean, I guess in the sense of our society, yeah, you owe them money, so of course they're going to be a dick about it if they want the money, but like, I don't know if you have to take it to that extreme. We can view elite monster information now. Cool. Elite monsters are powerful beasts that prowl around all parts of the world, but the job center will make it worth your while if you defeat them. If you're victorious, you'll be sure to get real rich real quick. So they'll tell you, hey, so if you beat this Scorpactus guy on a less high road, you'll get 6,000 gold and 1,800 points, which will instantly increase your rank to the next one. Trust me when I tell you, these guys are not easy to kill. I'm not planning on doing Scorpactus until probably the end of Chapter 5 when we have access to more characters in our party, because I believe Scorpactus is like level 11 at the moment, which is too much for us, especially since it's an elite monster, so it has a gimmick, and yeah, no, I'm not going to deal with that right now. So instead of that, let's keep looking for cats and also see what else we've got here. Okay, that's a good reason for me not to have delivered that tomato omelet. I didn't even know this was the case, but hey, there you go. What could have been, we can deliver a tomato omelet to Triglyph Central Station, to, the diner employee's job report. Oh, to claim, okay. So let's do that right away. Probably should have done that before, but anyway. Luke's collar. Okay, and actually, here's another thing that you can do in terms of the cats. I believe some of, I don't think all of the cats, but some of the cats that are available in certain areas will be listed here on the job board, and if you find them and get their collars, you can actually turn them in for points and for gold. And the points that you get from these are not small. It's a pretty substantial amount of points, so it's worth it to go looking for them no matter what. So, and actually there is one in the station over here, because there's, it says, my cat Suzu's been spotted. She just loves trains. I sure hope she isn't bugging the station workers. Oh, I'm so worried. So since that's the case, let's take that one as well. What else have we got? I can just turn this one right in, but... goods, egg. We do have egg, so... I could provide egg. Without... I want to make fried eggs, but I have no eggs. Without them, all I'll be able to make is fried. Makes the shell. I don't want to turn these in too much, though. Like, I mean, you could just keep turning these in to grind out points and gold, but, like, I don't want to turn them in too much, because if you do that, first of all, some of these people are really fucking weird. Like this Grumpy Gus guy who wants a chipped claw, so his nail feels less lonely. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, I don't want to take on too many of these where we have a surplus of items, because honestly, some cases I'd rather... Well, I guess I can't sell one iron sand for 708 gold, to be fair. So maybe it's worth it to just do it when we have a surplus. I don't know. It'll replace stuff, though, with the new area that we can go to now, which is the Tourbalon High Road on the way to Helioborg. The enemies on the way there are a lot easier than they were in the previous game, because otherwise we wouldn't have any freaking way of getting out of it with our pants and everything else intact. I don't know why I picked pants specifically. But, yeah, we would not be able to get out of that very easily at all if we were fighting level 55 to 60 enemies. But, yeah, we'll get out of it pretty quick, so... But yeah, see how these keep kind of like recycling and recycling and recycling into other stuff. So sometimes you can kind of just sit here until they stop doing that and get a decent amount of money out of it too. Noir Rare Brandy, that's in Duval. We don't have access to that just yet, but I can think of a good place where we can find it, to be honest. So yeah, see how we've got more stuff in Tourbalon High Road? Ideally, what I want to do is I kind of want to swap around some of this stuff until we gain access specifically to, like, hey, go to this place that's the new place you go to and kill a bunch of monsters. So if we can do that, or get, you know, like, I don't know, again, I don't know why Jolene is so... Like, we need Wooden Seal in order to even do that. And Wooden Seal is, like, the 3rd rank, and she wants us to go to Tourbalon to do that. Like, by the time this is worth doing, we'll be way ahead of these enemies. So I don't know why the hell Jolene is doing that. But anyway, I'm going to take the other kitty settings, and we're going to go find the cats first before we do anything else. And also, I'm going to take... So, let's trade. Tanned leather, yeah, is available on Tourbalon, so we'll wait for that until we go to Tourbalon. This is available on Duval, apparently. So I'll keep that in mind. And so is the Noir Rare Brandy. So I think what we'll do is we'll go to Duval first, and then we'll go from there. Do I want to kill enemies while I'm in Alest High Road? No, I don't think so. I mean, we've killed enough of them, I think, to be honest. I think we'll just go look for the cat. So we'll go look for the cat in Alest High Road. But yeah, what you want to kind of do is you want to kind of check and see if there's any kitty sightings before you go to a new area. Because if you can do that, you can gain access to the cats in those areas, and, you know, you can do that while you're already running around in that area to begin with. So, all right, now be careful in this area because Scorpactus is somewhere around here, so we'll have to mind where we're going. But while we're here, we've got access to the kitty dispatch, and we've also got access to our event list, which shows where the cats are, so let's take a look. That's Duval. That's Triglyph. We should have gone and gotten the one in Triglyph, but I can always take the train back, so it doesn't matter. Alest High Road. My cat Ruby has been spotted. People in the area say that they saw a cat out west. Looks like she's between some rocks. Find her. So she's in the west area here somewhere, between some rocks. So let's go have a look and see if we can find her. I guess I'll pick up a couple of things on the way, but I'm not going to prioritize it because our priority now is the cat. I almost just got myself stuck into a battle. Actually, our priority now is the cat and also this ore, because this ore is very easy to pick up. Requires basically no work whatsoever. So, and we can still outrun the vast majority of the enemies, even though we don't have access to the winged boots yet. The only one that I'm a little concerned about are the horses, but it seems like we can outrun those pretty easily as well. So. Yep, found Scorpactus. He's up there. Dude learned the skill. We got some extra money. How much do I have now? Okay, hold on. Let me get out of your way. Oh, found the cat too. Ruby! And there's your collar. Cool. And that's a very angry horse, so I guess I'll take care of this because we're, you know, already in the process, so. I don't know what shadow staves are, but you get that shit out of here.
Link charge! Let's break them down. With my fists and your blades.
Yes.
I forget if that means we just got another affinity boost, or if that's just another one with Jude. I guess we'll find out in a second. If it is another affinity boost, then, wow, linking increases affinity pretty heavily, doesn't it? Okay, so you can use... It says you can't chain the same linked art twice in a row. However, if you follow up with a different art each time, you can use the same linked art as many times as you want in a chain. So probably we can link charge with link charge if we use different arts to start it. And we have 2 abilities to use link charge right now. So I don't know if that's what it means, but that's what I'm choosing to believe that it means. So what was I gonna do here? Oh yeah, check the Allium Orb. See how everybody's doing here. All right, well, you're in decent shape there. And as for this, we actually have access to some other stuff now as well. We have access to Wind, so Jude could get access to Swallow Dance, and we have access to Pebble, which gets him access to a new art called Morning Glory. Fun. I don't know, I think I might give Yggdrasil back to Luger now, since I have access to both light and earth element stuff. That'll allow Jude to get level restore, which is really the main thing that I care about at the moment. So let's just put him on Shine until he gets 230 in Shine, and then we'll try to get 230 in... You know, actually, maybe it'd be better to have him get... Yeah, let's have him get to 100 for Yggdrasil before I swap out, because, yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff available at 100 for him. So let's finish up at 100 for him on Yggdrasil, and then we'll switch off of Yggdrasil onto something else, so that then he can gain access to level restore through Pebble and Shine, and then we'll work our way up after that. All right, do I have access to the world map yet? No, I do not. Okay, that's fine. lose stick. Oh, you can just find those randomly out in the world now? That's interesting, because you do need those for something later on in the game. And it's even more of a something than it was previously, actually. So, I don't think I'm going to bother with the regular old stuff. I think I'm just going to get the elemental ore pickups, because those are the most useful ones for us, at least for now, while they're still useful, you know. So, and Jude gained access to a whole bunch of stuff from Yggdrasil. He's actually, yeah, over 100 now. So since that's the case, let's swap him back to, well, actually, maybe I'll do, yeah, I'll do Pebble, because it'll get him a new thing. Shine really only gets him, well, I guess it gets him Palm Strike and an upgrade to Palm Strike once we get further. So, 160, 310. Alright, well, and this will get him at 160. Alright, he's a little further ahead on Shine anyway, so let's get him up to 230 on Shine, and then we can go from there, I think. Meanwhile, Luger's got a whole bunch of stuff waiting in the wings, including level restore, so we'll work on that as we go. He'll be a little bit ahead on light element now, because he's already got 160 of those, but that's okay. We'll worry about that later. Okay, let's just keep going. Excuse me, Jude got a new skill, so I should probably check that as well before I move too far. I'll grab these treasure bags as well, I guess. But if it's too far out of my way, or if it's not... There's another one right here. That's surprising. Didn't expect that, did you? But yeah, if it's too far out of my way, I won't bother. But if it's, or if it's like right next to an enemy, I won't bother. But in this case, the enemy walked away from it, so I can afford to actually go grab it. If not, well, you know, it's there, I guess. It can stay there. I'm really just going this way on the way to Duval, to be honest. So, rather than take the train and miss out on the potential elemental ore while it's still useful, I might as well use it to move along. And then... Okay, so we've got one cat in Duval. Let's go see what the job says for Luke, I think it was. Yeah, Cat Luke has been spotted. He likes high places and is kind of slow. Think I could use he could use a trim too. Anyways, find him. High places, kind of slow. Could use a trim. Is there like a barber shop around here? Or is he just up here? Okay, he's just up here. Gotcha, Luke. Fancy looking cat. Red in the face. I don't know what it meant by a trim, but anyway. A simple question. Sure.
Wow, look at all the different shops.
Rollo just taking Luke's spot to take
Duval
a
is a
nap.
market town. They say you can buy just about anything here.
Huh. Everyone's yelling
It's a
about
wall
how
market
cheap their
even.
stuff is. How much
No
lower
cross-dressing,
are the
though.
prices here?
Well, so low they bleed. No, it's actually just a little lower. They're saying it's a lot lower than it actually is to drive up sales.
Only a little? Why?
Well, I'm sure they try to make them as cheap as possible, but, you know, there are larger issues.
Unfortunately, everybody's got to eat, kiddo, and that means they have to sell
I
and
know how to
sell
make things
and
cheaper.
sell.
You gotta cut the prices yourself.
You mean by haggling with them? I've seen people do it, but I've never tried it myself.
Jude, you've
Is
never
that what they call
haggled?
it? You shouldn't be afraid to try it. It's really easy.
I was gonna say, where L comes from, they call it dickering.
You just take the corner of the price tag and rip.
Oh, I don't think that's what he meant.
Elle, you can't just tear a digit off the price tag. That's not haggling at all.
That's illegal. Oh boy, this kid. This kid's gonna be the death of me. Anyway, is there anything I want to do in Duval? I guess I could like find the item shop and see if there's any food that I want. Now that we have a little bit of money to spare. Let's see. So I'm gonna keep those loose sticks. Wow, Kitty Chris are worth 300. I'm gonna keep those loose sticks because they're, like I said, useful for something later. I'll keep this cape as well because that might also be useful for something later. I don't know about the rest of this. Oh my god, it's worth 700 gold. I don't know about the rest of this stuff. Just, I gotta see like what all of this stuff is good for before we move along and decide to sell it. Don't really care for that stuff. I still don't care for all these things that increase your stats because like, I'd rather just get stuff like the tomato omelet or the pudding cakes or the sandwich, you know, stuff that gives you back HP and TP so that you don't have to do it yourself, you know. But I guess I'll buy a sandwich. A sandwich set, even. Thank you. What else we got here? Nothing I really care about. We might actually have a reason to buy syrup bottles in this game rather than them just sitting in my inventory doing nothing. And it mostly has to do with my own self-imposed restrictions, but it's kind of down the rabbit hole. I'll talk about it when we actually gain access to our first benefit outside of just getting access to the story from paying off your debt. So there's more benefits to it. It's a little bit more fringe benefits than that. There's a cat in here. Oop, there you are. Hello, how can I help you today? You're at Triglyph Central Station. Anyway, there's Suzu. That's cool. Alright, I think that's all the cats. Do I have your job in my list of jobs? I must. These are all the completed jobs. Well, let's look at the underway ones. That's a little easier. You're the tomato omelet guy. Okay, there we go. That explains a lot. That is what it looks like. I don't know if that's how I would have made it, but there you go. Okay. So that's the job I would have had if I wasn't in the process of getting almost killed and arrested. Great. Well, fair enough. Yeah, that is one of the non-benefits, isn't it? I'm sure it's stimulation for them, but I don't know about that, so. Oh. Oh, so you weren't even their second pick. I was the first pick. Then the guy that was supposed to replace me after I almost got arrested started to grease fire, and now you're in. Okay. I guess. Yeah, everything. My whole life is a wreck. Anyway, you go back to your job there, dude. Oh, he's actually off today, so he's not at his job. How did you get a day off so close to the beginning of your work week? Anyway. I think this attendant shows up multiple times with food requests, though, if I recall correctly. Diner employees job report. And I believe, I don't quite remember, but I believe doing, and as a matter of fact, we can check. If we look at the event list, we can check what his reward for his job is here. So let's go to underway, what could have been. And it doesn't show it here. No. I think it showed it on the actual menu, though, when we were looking at what the potential rewards for the job is. And if you do those jobs, you'll gain access to new recipes. Actually, I think it was minestrone, if I recall correctly, was the reward that we'll get. I don't remember if it becomes an item available at Triglyph Station, though, after that, and it's only available after you do this quest, or what, but, well, it's your first access to minestrone, so then you can use it for whatever it's worth. I don't remember what it does. I think it's probably for elemental ore specifically, but I could be wrong about that. What was the other job? Oh, I only took 4. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so it gets us access to a minestrone and also 1,100 gold, which is quite a bit, so there we go. And now we're at a wooden token, and it needs 3,300 more points in order to get us to the wooden badge, which would allow us to do Jolene's first stupid plea in the last high road. Although, actually thinking about it, though, by the time we have access to wooden badge, is the next one? Yeah. By the time we have access to wooden badge, it might be time for us to go back to the Alest High Road to kill Scorpactus anyway, so maybe Jolene is actually just 4D chessing this whole thing. Alright. Anyway, kitty sightings, let's deliver these so we can get our rewards for those. I think it's usually just kitty crisps as the reward, which are used in the kitty dispatch. So we can show that in a second, but first Nova's going to call me. And I have almost no money left after she calls me. But basically, yeah, if you hit the the threshold, she will call you immediately to have you pay. You can cancel this if you want to go buy something with your newfound windfall of money, but she'll eventually force you to make a payment once you get to a certain threshold. So, you know, why not just pay it now? By the way, thing that I did previously in order to get the payment all the way up, if you go all the way to the left and then you press left again, it will get you all the way up to the amount that she wants you to make the payment with without you having to do it yourself. So just press left a few times and you'll get the full payment.
You've been dropping such regular BMs lately. Oh, a BM is just biz talk for bank monies. Keep up the payment pace.
Nova, you really need to stop with this shit. It's not okay. Oh, hang on, she's calling me again.
Wow,
Dear Lord,
wow.
hello?
Looks like I can lift another one of those pesky travel restrictions.
I'm sure
But
you
only
can.
one. So, Marksburg or Helioborg? What's it gonna be?
I'll take Marksburg, Regis. You could go to Helioborg first, but like I said, I think the lesser of two evils is at Marksburg, and by that I mean bosses. So. And Marksburg is a relatively new town, as we'll see when we go there.
You gotta
So.
tell me what it's like. Send me a postcard or something, will ya?
If I have any money left to buy one, I
By
will
the
be
way,
sure to do
just
so.
a teensy bit more, and I might be able to lift the other restriction too. Toodles!
I think that's the next payment. If you finish up the next payment before doing this, you might be able to
Someone's
go to
looking for
both.
Julius? I wonder who.
Your clothes sure smell nice. What's that smell from?
Do they? I don't do anything special. It's probably just the fabric softener.
I'm surprised you know what fabric softener is, considering you just moved to Olympias to start your research, what, like a year ago? Did they have fabric softener back in Rizumaxia? Doesn't seem like the kind of thing they would have. So, anyway, before we do anything else, let's go check out Kitty Dispatch for the first time. Now that we have access to more cats, we should be able to gain access to more items. And I'll probably duck in and do some Kitty Dispatch on the daily, because as you'll notice in the top right, there's a daily bonus. Depending on what day you are playing this game, it's based on whatever day is marked in your PS3's internal clock, calendar, whatever. You'll get different bonuses. So, in Kitty Dispatch, you can get items by dispatching your kitties to one location. The more kitties you have in your roster, the better your chances of getting an item. You can provide a travel item as well to further increase your chances. Moreover, places where you've caught kitties before will be registered when you send kitties to that location. There are all kinds of merits to using Kitty Dispatch, such as using items you can't get anywhere else and getting new kitties for your roster. There are daily bonuses too for each day of the week. So it's a good idea to play with your kitties each and every day. If you didn't think there'd be small amounts of Tamagotchi in your Tails game, then you are incorrect. Anyway, let's see. So as you can see by this list, there's items that you can find. There's a total of 5 items in Triglyph, 5 items in Duval. No dungeons available at the moment. Alest High Road. We can't find any kitties in Alest High Road. There are items to be found, though. But Triglyph and Duval themselves both have other cats that are not available through finding them on the job board, that are only available to find using Kitty Dispatch. So those are probably the places where you want to start, and then if you have nowhere else to send them for additional cats, or if you don't want any of the other items that are available there, you can just send them off to the high roads to grab some items, because then you don't have to worry about finding the cats. But yeah, once we have the cats from Triglyph and from Duval, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 additional cats. We'll have 9 cats. We're already almost a tenth of the way there. Like, no brainer, you know. So send them to Triglyph first, and then Kitty Crisps will cut down your dispatch time by 10%. I believe it's half an hour is the base amount, so this will cut it down by 3 minutes. Yeah, so they'll come back in 27, and yeah, it's in real time as well. So basically, I'll send them out. It'll be 8:41, and then 27 minutes later would be 9:08. They'll be back, and it'll show up as a little notification, kind of like the ones that say "job ready to report." I believe that shows up, except it says your kitties have returned or something like that. So there you go. Anyway, dispatch the cats to Triglyph. Send out the cats.
Find something good.
And Rollo will go with them just to make sure that they don't get into any trouble and that they're doing what they're supposed to do. Bonuses. So here are the bonuses for each day of the week. It's Tuesday, so we get 2 times more items obtained. There's a bonus for all areas tomorrow, so I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably just duck into this every day and just do stuff off screen with it. I don't know if I'll be doing anything else off screen, but hey, it can't hurt, right? I mean, might as well. And then you'll get bonuses for Riza Maxi and Olympius, depending on the time, the day that you do it. You'll get return time cut off. Sunday is the big day. You really want to do this on Sunday because you'll get 3 times the items that you'd normally get from Kitty Dispatch if you do this on Sundays. So, and also, if you sit on this menu, you can also see the dispatched ticking away in real time. The cat up there is very slowly moving around the circle, but excuse me, that's kind of just like a, I guess you could use that as a screensaver or something, but not really my cup of tea, so. All right, contracts that we can do. This requires wooden badge, so we're definitely not doing that just yet. This will get us sunbeam, so that's not a bad idea to try to work towards. So we can get tanned leather in the Tourbalon High Road, so we'll see if we can get that. This is in Duval, apparently, and so, you know, I should have gone back to Duval to check on that stuff, so I can see if I can get anything out of it. But we'll see in a minute. Okay, so let's do this as well, since we'll be going to Tourbalon in a minute. This, and I should wait to take this one, actually. Well, no, I don't have to, because I can. I think once you have 5 jobs, even if there's something on here that you can do like immediately, I don't think you can take it. So I'll just take this real quick, and then these 2, I'll go back to Duval right now, and I'll go do them just because I forgot to do them while I was there. We just got to find a chipped claw. Chipped whatever, chipped nail. No, that's what the guy did. We need to find a chipped claw and Noir Rare Brandy, so we'll go do that. And I need to see what the sell price is for Noir Rare Brandy as well, because I need to see if turning it in is worth my while. Because if it's worth more money for me to sell it to a shop rather than give it to whomever that person is, I don't give a shit about the points. Like, what do I care about the points? I'd much rather have the gold, at least for now. Actually, no, that's not true. I'd much rather have the gold for the entire game. So, there you go. If I was a chipped claw, where would I find it in Duval? Probably gotta go, like, into the alleyways, honestly. So let's go looking in the alleyways and see if I can dig around in the trash cans or something. Find it. Oh, there's a chest that had something. Kind of hug the walls, see if there's anything shiny or glimmering. All right, but before we do that, let's go into Film Noir, which is the bar. And I'm sure you can figure out why I'm going into the bar. It's not for a melange gel. Okay, well, we don't need to save either at the moment. It's not for a melange gel, though that is nice. I would love to give it a try. Do you have a sample for me? Can I go behind the bar to get it? Ah, here we go. There's the Noir Rare Brandy. So yeah, we can just take it. He'll just let us take it. And there's also Moonlight Bourbon over here. So that's probably used for something else, like some other job later. So since he's being so gracious and allowing me to take it, I'm just gonna take it and, you know, thank him later, I guess. All right, now if I was a chipped claw, where would I hide myself? Looking for treasure glimmers, but I don't know if it would actually be in a treasure glimmer anywhere. Kind of sometimes you just need to hug the walls because then you'll find something to check, you know. In, we don't need the in. Alright, well I didn't find it there. Maybe in the Duval Marketplace. Some iron sand. Well, that's not really what I was looking for. And I doubt it'll be in the station. So I guess we'll go back there, if worst comes to worst, but kind of doubt. There. So just keep looking. Just hug all the walls. Find something somewhere. That was the extent of that, so maybe I can check where the cap was. That'll give me. Nope, okay. Maybe it is in the station then, since I definitely didn't find it here. Alright, how much is that brandy worth? Let's see. It is worth 714 gold to this wise guy. how much is it worth to, say, somebody else in the shop? 600. Okay, so it is worth it to turn in. I'm glad that they actually addressed that because that could have been a problem. All right. You know, thinking about it, maybe you get this chipped cloth from Kitty Dispatch, actually, which means it will want to send the cats out to Duval shortly after this instead of doing it what I just did, looking around. And as a matter of fact, it says right there, with the cat paw, I think that means that the goods that you find with the cat paw means, hey, you can find this with Kitty Dispatch. So you don't have to go finding it in the actual town itself. This one, though, was an exception because there's a bar that carries this stuff actually in the town. So, of course, I could just find it by doing that. So, scorpion tails. Okay, those are another Kitty Dispatch item. I think if I remember correctly, a lot of these item ones will eventually become like, hey, so you can pretty much only get these by Kitty Dispatch. So make sure you do that. And we'll, figure that part out. Oh, Jolene actually needs 10 fossilized shells, so it might actually be worth it to go back to Alest High Road for a second and get some fossilized shells. So maybe I take these with me. No, I can't, because I can only take one more. So where'd my one for the, or did I? Yeah, I took the other one. Okay, for Vulture. I wasn't sure if I took the one for Vulture. Fossilized shells, I think, are primarily found in the treasure boxes. So, since that's the case, I think I'll just go looking. Maybe I should have taken these little treasure spots since... Okay, back attack! Well, that's not good.
What? Don't worry, everyone!
I'll just get around them. Oh yeah, we had less, whatchamacallit there. You can't kick me in the face, I'll beat you up first.
Let's break them down.
We had less AC to start that battle as well.
Blades. Yes.
Probably from the back attack. Okay, well, fair enough. Don't really need to worry about that part. I was actually figuring you were going to talk to me about back attacks rather than that. Oh, we beat the specified number of Alest horse as well, so that's cool. What do we got left in that department? Let's go look at our enemy data. So that's done. 11 of those. Yeah, we're probably not getting that. But we can get one more Alest rivet in before this is all over with, I suppose. Let's find one of them. There's a land crabs. A land crabs. Yes, my grammar is incredible today. Damn it, more shit. Maybe I shouldn't have turned in all those fossilized shells since Jolene needed all. I didn't really think about it because I wasn't figuring Jolene would need that many. Another lose stick. I guess if you need them, you can just... Oh, I got back attacked again. Oh, yeah, I guess if you need the lose sticks, you could just farm them here, I guess.
I can do this.
Nice work, Jude. Still didn't get the mention for back attacks. I'm surprised that usually the help menu will tell you specifically, like, hey, so these are back attacks, like, as soon as it happens, you know. But it's not happening so far, so. Interesting. And I guess if you want to, get basic level... Okay, there's another fossilized shell. Basic level materials, you could just wander around and grab stuff, from all these places. I could do this off-screen as well, since I'm going to be doing Kitty Dispatch. I'm about to get back attacked again. Okay, well, I guess now maybe we'll get the thing. Okay, well, we'll do that after.
Nothing can
Or we'll
stop
do it in the
us.
next battle.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we got the help menu for back attacks. So yeah, if they attack you from behind, you get back attacked. I forget if back support is available as an ability in this game as well. I think it is, but I'm not 100% certain about that. Either way, Elise isn't currently in the party. Oh look, there's a 10. So be very careful about back attacks. They can be problematic, at least for the first little while. Anyway. Alright, but since I'm already here, I might as well just look for the element ore and look for the fossilized shells just from wandering around. We'll get a bunch of loose sticks in the process and a bunch of other stuff too. So. Fill out our items that we had missing as well. And get some extra money while we're at it. One of these times I'm going to get that extra money and then Nova's going to call me. Oh, Jude learned an art from that. Let's check on our allium. Actually, before we do that, let's check on our skills because we probably got, yeah, quite a bit of stuff before we go too far here. And Jude has a bunch more SP available to use now, so let's just do that. I don't want to get too far ahead with Jude and Luger, though. Like, if I do too much element or looking around stuff, when the next party members come in, they're going to be at a disadvantage because I don't think they start with any, if I recall correctly. Or if they do, it's a small amount, so... should I give you HP gain? I feel like that might not be a bad idea. Just to say we have it, you know. I don't care about that or that. Blunt Force is nice, though, because stunning an enemy is very useful, and Swift Strike actually benefits from Blunt Force, because if you stun an enemy and you're, like, at the end of a combo or something, so you have a chance to see that they're stunned, Blunt Force will allow you to get a critical hit with Swift Strike. I prefer it when it's a little more guaranteed, though, which may actually be enough to make me not equip Blunt Force, to be honest, but, well, we'll see. I think I'll take HP gain and then turn this off to take TP gain as well, though. We should get another ability in short enough order to where I can get access to Magic Guard. So I'm not really too concerned about that. But gaining extra HP and TP, and it's only 2% now rather than I think it was 3% in the first game. No, I think it was 2% actually. 3% I think is the spirit symbols, which by the way have been nerfed in this game, but we'll talk about that when we get there. But using these until we get level restore, and honestly using them after that might be very useful to us because they'll be... in this game, it's a little bit tougher to just blast through a whole area, at least in the beginning when you don't have access to a whole lot of money. It's a little bit harder to blast through the whole game without really needing to worry about it because you just have access to food and all that. They put such a restriction on your gold, at least in the early game, that it's tougher to just use that stuff. Oh, good. Jude got Dragon Shot and Palm Strike already. So that's pretty solid. I'm not sure which of these I particularly care about having him use. Like, I'm not really keen on the whole... Well, I use certain ones myself, but until I use Jude in his first side content featuring him, I'm not going to know which ones I particularly care for. So I think I'll just leave all of them on for now so he can just use a nice variety. And, yeah, we'll go from there. How are we doing allium orb-wise anyway? Let's see here. You're almost to level restore in terms of light. You're not quite there yet in terms of earth, but you're almost there in terms of light. So that's good. We have access to momentary gain. Exchange. Oh, okay, that's a spoiler. Spirit! Spirit and stamina are nice, but they're a little bit further away than they usually are. So this will get to 230 pretty soon. Then we can switch you off to Pebble. And we'll go from there. All right. My cat has returned. Oh, wow, that was even faster than I thought it was. I figured it was going to be 9:08 because I thought it was 27 minutes, but I was wrong.
Nice one.
Okay, they got potatoes and carrots by going over there. They did not find any more cats, but that's fine. They'll find... I think there's actually a food item later that'll allow you to find more cats. Well, have an increased likelihood of finding cats when you send them to a certain place, so... All right, so Duval is the next place we want you to go, and the Chipped Claw is what we want you to find, so we'll see if you find it.
Good luck.
That particular meow that Rollo does there, the one that's just really extended like that, just lives rent-free in my head forever. I don't know why. It's just so over the top. How many fossilized shells do I have now? 6, okay. I'll look for them later. I'm not in a rush to find 1,000,000 of them, and I seem to be getting mostly land crabs anyway. So maybe I'll just have the cats look for them, all honesty. Like, they can find them while they're here, if I recall correctly, so... Why not just let them do the hard work, especially off-screen, since... Well, it's off-screen work, so then they don't have to bother all of you with watching me dip and shit around. That's a new phrase. Just putz around finding stuff, you know. So let me just check the jobs before I go anywhere here. A less high road, a less high road. It's all less high road. All the way down. So since that's the case, we can get Sunbeam from here. This might be something I won't be able to find unless I kitty dispatch, though. We're going to have to see if the wild boars drop tanned leather. I can't imagine they would, because why would a boar drop tanned leather? You know, it's tan, so that implies that they took the leather off of it, so it probably doesn't. Probably doesn't drop that, but hey, you never know. It might change the thought process there. And let me just check if there's anything new here. Fist guard is new. I guess I can purchase it, so... Before I do that, let's go to Torbellon, actually, before we purchase anything new here, since we just bought weapons and armor and all that. And it doesn't look like there's anything new here. Okay. So yeah, before we buy that, let's just go to Torbellon and see if the Fist Guard's available there. Because despite the fact that we did not unlock the Helioborg Fortress yet as a travel point, you can go down Torbellon High Road all the way to the Helioborg Fortress, and you can kill enemies along the way while you're at it to give you a little bit of extra experience. So I'm going to do that just because we've got some jobs in the area. We might as well. So the stream's already mostly going to be me putzing around because it was just, I'm using the word putzing a lot.
Delicacy? Does that mean it
It's a very,
tastes good?
something like that, to some people anyway. It's a very big word for a young lady like yourself. Using them SAT words. But I wouldn't be surprised if at a certain point we get a call from Nova just while I'm wandering around. And she's like, hey, so you went over the threshold. Time to pay. Alright, anyway. Check out these new enemies. I don't actually know if the Fist Guard's available here, so I guess we'll find out. Damn it. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, well, at least we hit him with that, so... You're probably weak to strike, that's why you're doing what you're doing here. Thanks, Jude.
We got this. Falling thunder.
Yeah, I've got a... But yeah, see how he got a little bit of HP back when he killed that boar? And TP? It's pretty nice. If you're going to be killing anyway, you might as well use it. We have to take a little bit of, like... We have to make certain exceptions to things that we took for granted in Tales of Xillia 1 because of the fact that this is the second game, so they had a chance to kind of say, oh, okay, so this is what players are taking advantage of. Maybe we should switch that so that it's less easy to take advantage of. So we have to take certain liberties, like using HP and TP gain, in order to keep ourselves boosted up, at least in the beginning of the game, so... And yeah, like in the first game, you'll get HP or TP back when you heal yourself or take damage, because your partner will take a little bit of the heat off of you. Unfortunately, like I said before, in the first game, if you are linked and you get statused, your partner will also get statused, and vice versa. Main character clan. So you got to be a little careful of that, because you're going to end up statusing both of you. It's not a huge deal, though. Usually it's pretty easy to fix that, like, especially with Jude and with recovery ring. Since he's got that already, we're kind of in great shape, you know. Make sure that doesn't become problematic. Alright, here we go. You're resistant to Azure Edge. Fine.
We got this.
I guess dual conquest. Chain again, so link charge again.
Let's be sure to keep this up.
Overlimit is really good. I keep killing things, so I'm going to be like way over the top in terms of the HP and TP that I have. Although Jude should be getting some of that back. Well, no, actually, I think when the skill is shared like that, I don't think he gets some back if I kill things. I think he just has the ability to gain HP and TP. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, Jude, can you take the heat off of me there, brother? That'd be nice. Well. What? Try it. I dare you. You're resistant to wind. Now, for you.
I won't lose.
Hang on.
Hey, you did it! I guess you're not
I
too
whiffed
bad.
a little bit. It's okay.
You've gotten stronger.
Oh, we got a new skill. Reconnaissance. So if you haven't fought Scorpactus yet, like I have, that reconnaissance skill might come in fairly handy, because large monsters in Tales of Xillia 2, here's your little one little lesson for you. Large monsters in Tales of Xillia 2 have what are known as weak points. These weren't present in the first game, but they are present in this one. And if you have the reconnaissance skill equipped, it will allow you to actually view where these weak points are. Though some of them are fairly obvious. Like, for example, Scorpactus is a giant scorpion, so his weak point is going to be on his tail, if I recall correctly. But if you're not sure about where the weak point is, you can always just equip reconnaissance. It's only 2 SP. And the description isn't really descriptive enough when it says that, because you can already see enemies' weaknesses when you press the switch target button. The elements that they're weak to. What they mean is the part of their body that they're weak to being hit from will be displayed when you switch targets. So it'll put a little ring around it, basically, so you can see it. So that's how that works. Do I even want Jude to have... Because he doesn't really take too much advantage of HP gain if he's just playing as an AI. Like, mostly HP and TP gain work for the character that you're controlling. Again, it's kind of like Power Charge, to be honest. But with Power Charge, at the very least, I, have direct control. If I have direct control over the characters, it'll work out for me. I'll just leave it on, because it's one of those things. It's like Power Charge, where if I turn it off, I'll forget to turn it on when I have, I did. I'll forget to turn it back on when I take control of the character if I turn it off. So since that's the case, I'm just going to leave it on. It'll be easier in the long run. Excuse me. Alright, so... do I want to do what I was saying, where I kind of just go explore the whole of Torbellon High Road, find items, and then kill things? Or do I just want to do what I was doing in the first game, because that worked out pretty good? Oh, pudding cakes. Let's eat those since... oh, hang on. Use the shortcut. There we go. Since they're going to give me one for free, I might as well eat one, right? There we go. But I do have, like... the reason why I'm not sure is because I do have jobs that would let me, gain access to some good stuff by just killing the enemies around the way, so...
Nothing can stop us. Yeah.
Plus, that'll help Jude kind of get some of his TP back, so not a bad idea. So yeah, there we go. It kind of... yeah, okay, so it's kind of not really being that descriptive here either, but basically, like I said, it'll give you a target to hit when you are fighting elite monsters. And sometimes that's nice, because having a target to hit will sometimes allow you to say, okay, well, this monster's really tough normally, but if I hit the target, well, it'll make it easier. So, I haven't defeated all of these yet, so... oh, that's just a full... this is the overarching catch the cat thing, so... once I defeat 5 of each of these, it should tell me. So, the monster's in the alleyway. Oh, the monster in the alleyway. Yeah, let's just keep fighting monsters until we've defeated all of the ones that they want me to defeat. And then we'll go from there. I don't really want to... on these larger high roads, I don't really want to defeat all of the monsters that they tell me about until we gain access to encounter linking, because it's kind of silly to do it when, you
Keep it up.
Jude, you're the coolest.
yeah, it's kind of silly to kill all the monsters when, you don't have access to encounter links, because the areas are so large, like they were in the first game, that sometimes killing all the monsters might take a long time. So maybe in that particular instance, it might be more useful to just kill the monsters that are available from the jobs and then just find all the items instead of killing everything. Because, I mean, experience is okay. It's good to have the extra experience, but I'm not really worried about not having enough to finish the game. If you do jobs, you'll get enough experience to finish the game. So I'm not too concerned. But yeah, see how Luger's kind of keeping up in terms of the... in terms of his TP count. I mean, that's partially from the pudding cakes, but it's also because of TP gain, because I seem to be the one that's, killing everything. Well, I was gonna
How too easy.
use disintegrate, time disintegration to get off a dual conquest, but we didn't really need to there.
Now I have the strength to protect.
Okay, that job's ready to report. Which one was that anyway? Was that the vultures one? Just make sure. Yes, that was the vultures one. So we need to find Terra Mandragoras and wild boars. So if we see those on the field, that's when I'll go prioritize them. I don't see any at the moment on this screen. So since that's the case, let's just go wandering around. See if we can find any more items that are available on this screen. I think there was a couple of holes as well. So yeah, there's at least one because I see it over there. And we'll, I think going in the hole might re-roll a couple of the enemies as well. So since that's the case, we might as well. Oh, the back attack.
Come and get it. For Luger, not me.
Let's grab this guy with dual conquest while we're here. Get the extra HP back. I got the critical hit as well.
Gotta keep moving, one step at a time.
That's the idea. But yeah, those critical hits from Falling Thunder after using time disintegration can be pretty strong. That one in particular just did 700 damage, so don't discount the abilities of critical hits to get through your enemy's weaknesses. They are pretty powerful, especially when they're guaranteed like that. Like, you can't really beat those situations because how often do you get something that's normally random as a guarantee, you know? So take advantage of them if you can. Oh, okay, a couple of dark bottles. Not really anything I care about, but I think we can use those for something later. Yeah, so like in the first game, because this is built in the same engine, when you leave a hole like that, it will re-roll the enemies, which will allow you to fight some more. What are you weak to? Strike and Earth. Okay. Nothing I can do about that. Oh good, I can use Azure Edge in the air now. I wasn't sure, so I figured I'd knock him up in the air and see. I gotta be careful with that though, because Dual Conquest doesn't move as far as I was kind of hoping it would. Now we block the size. Yep.
Yes. Keep it up.
That was gonna happen. So,
Nothing
oh,
can
he got the
stop
other
us.
one. Good. Nice work, Jude. And Cat's back. Cool. Job's not ready to report, but Cat's back, so let's see what they got. Yeah, so there's the chipped claws that I was talking about. Now, some of the items further down the list are a little bit rarer to find, so those you might need like an area bonus to get, or you might need just plain old more cats in order to get them. So, speaking of cats, there's one York. So now we should have 5 anyway available. It isn't showing 5, but we should have 5 available. All right, let's go. Let's just go to a less high road, just because that way I can kind of just send them to one of each place. You know what I mean? So, and then we can worry about, because we already got basically all the items available in Duval with the chipped claw. I forget if you can get that third item in Triglyph right now, or if you have to wait a little while, but that's probably where I'll send them after Alest High Road, just because I think Alest High Road, it's like the first 3 items you can get pretty much no matter what, 2 or 3. The ones after that usually take a little bit more doing, like you either need more cats, or you need to use an item or something to that effect, or you need to wait for an area bonus, so.
I hope you find something good.
Alright, off you go. So, and job ready to report. Okay, which one was that? That one was the Mandragoras, I think. Or no, that was the boars, right? Yes, it was. Okay. And we still don't have access to Tourbalon High Road via the kitty dispatch at the moment. I forget if... I think you need to find a cat in the area in order to gain access to it in kitty dispatch. So, since we don't have access to it just yet, let's just wait on that. And we'll kill more Mandragoras until we're done with them. Probably up to this way. Luger, do something! I'm trying! Getting a little closer so Dual Conquest actually hits. I was kind of hoping to catch a couple of them
Too easy.
crit, but that's okay. Jude is going ham. Job ready to report. Alright, so we're done with all the jobs that are here at the moment. I'm being attacked immediately. So since we're done with the jobs for now, like I said, I don't want to get too far ahead. Oh, Windstick on the EXP. I wonder if they give you those because of the fact that you can't get to Sherrilton as easily in this game as you could in the first one. So I wonder if they just give you these in the treasure spots because they know you can't get to Sherrilton as quickly. I don't know. You know what? I'll go in this hole while I'm here. And yeah, like I said, I don't want to get too far ahead on experience. Because if I get too far ahead on experience, there's the leather coat I could have gotten. Could have waited for. Then any of the party members that will join us after this might not... It's less about the experience and more about the elemental ore that they have access to. Because it'll kind of leave them in the lurch if we get too much on Jude and Luger, because then everybody else will have to catch up. So I don't want to do too much in terms of, like, fighting and getting all that stuff. Also because I don't feel like having Nova call me every waking hour of the day, but on top of that, leaving anybody else to have to fend for... Oh, okay, I guess I can use an apple gel. Leaving everybody else to have to fend for themselves while we're wandering around means I'll have to end up fighting more anyway to have everybody catch up. So I'll end up fighting a lot over the course of the game if I do it that way. So instead of doing it that way, I'll just kind of like go through new areas, fight some stuff like that Bakura, for example. I don't think we have food on at the moment, so that Bakura is actually a very, very lucrative target right now. Especially, yeah, we don't have any food on, especially since we have access to Mabo Curry. So, since we have access to Mabo Curry, okay, that's elemental ore for 2 battles. It's okay. I'm not a big fan of the elemental ore stuff because if I really need it, I'll just go wandering around off screen and I'll go get it. I don't really need it in any other way, you know. All right, but this Bakura is a big target because if we can beat him, we'll get lots of experience and lots of money. So I'm going to attempt to sneak up on him. Again, you're going to want to walk when you're trying to sneak up on a Bakura because otherwise they will run from you very, very quickly. So try to do it how I just did. They are resistant to all magical elements, like in the first game, but they are not resistant to physical attacks. So. And we're actually very close to an overlimit, which should make this a little bit easier to do. We'll just do a few attacks, wait for him to punch Jude in the face, wait for him to punch me in the face as well. And then do one of these, since we have access to it. Now he's going to take this...
Let's break him down.
Oh.
With my fists and your blades. Yes.
Okay. Well, that is a learning experience. Because that Bakura did not give me nearly as much as I thought I was going to get from him. I got almost no anything. Oh, no, actually, never mind. I got 30 elemental ore. So that's what they're useful for, huh? Okay. Once in a while, you'll encounter box-shaped life forms like Bakuras or a mysterious individual wearing a yellow scarf in battle. Both hold substantial amounts of elemental ore and gold, so if you see them, be sure to defeat them before they escape. Learning experience, right there. This is important. Let's remember this from now on. Bakuras do not give lots of experience in gold like they did in the first game. Bakuras in this game specifically give lots of elemental ore. So if you're going to fight them, use your Minestrone or use your anything like that. So the stuff that gives you extra elemental ore, use that before fighting a Bakura. I'll keep that in mind. I wasn't aware of this until just now. I probably would have been if I would have done any research at all. But we learn things. We learn things around here, and then we use them to our advantage. So it's all good. I didn't know. But if I fight a couple more battles, I'll get some extra money out of those couple more battles. So I'm not really too particularly concerned about it. I'm trying to remember if I've ever encountered an individual in a yellow scarf in this game. I don't remember if I did. but it does kind of hint at the idea that, you know, it's probably a good idea to just use your Mabo Curry on boss fights. I think. I'm actually going to check, though, to be honest, because we shouldn't get into another boss fight before the end of this stream. Actually, we might get into one, but I would consider it more of a mini boss fight than a boss fight. But I'm going to check either from that or from looking at the previous stream when we got into a boss fight to see if they actually give money. Because I don't quite remember, and if Bakuras don't give money, then boss fights might not give money. So then you'll need to, use Mabo Curry in specific situations, and I wouldn't be able to tell you right now what those situations are. Anyway, here's Tilton. I don't know if their collar is going to be made available. Probably not, because, you know, they were just chilling out here. So I imagine the one that gives me a collar for use in the jobs will be available later. What was I saying? Yeah, so depending on what actually gives you gold as a reward in this game will be the primary motivator for what I should use Mabo Curry on, because your Mabo Curry is your lifeline. That 30% extra gold that you get is not something that you want to squander away. It will help you pay the debt, and paying the debt gets you lots of good stuff, so try not to waste it like I just did. It won't help you, that's for sure. Either way, now that we caught Tilton, we can actually probably send the kitty dispatch out to Torbellon High Road. And I do want to go to Helioborg, even though we can't actually go into Helioborg yet. Because if I recall correctly, even though you can't go into Helioborg, you can go to the first screen of it. And on the first screen, you can get another cat, which will allow you to use kitty dispatch in Helioborg. We can gain access to some items we wouldn't otherwise normally have access to. Yeah, there's a bit of a flow state to all this, essentially. It's kind of... The high road flow state in this game is similar to the... I'm just going to say it now since I haven't had anybody of any of my usuals in chat. The flow state to high roads in the first game was basically like you would have the player go out there and get into a rhythm where they would kill enemies and kill enemies and kill enemies and get rewards. It did, however, have the problem of separating the story of the game because almost no story took place on high roads. The story of the game kind of ended up being on islands, so you'd do an hour's worth of story on in a town, and then you'd spend 2 hours dungeon crawling on the high roads to get to the next island of story on another high road. So, actually, before I go any further, let me turn on Hunter's Nightlight. We're not doing too bad on heat in here for right now because it's not as hot today outside, so we don't have to worry as much about heat, but I'm going to leave that off for like 10-15 minutes so that it can cool down in there a little bit. The flow state in high roads in this game is still similar to how it was in the first game because there's still that rhythm of kill enemies, get rewards, move from there. However, I think my thought process here is that the dynamic of the high roads has changed in this. I'm just going to kill a couple of these enemies, I think. Okay. No link, which means still can't do that. The flow state has not really changed that much. There are still enemies to kill in the areas here. And you're still expected to go to them as a part of your in-between chapter stuff. However, the in-between chapter stuff is the important part there. Because the fact that the game says, okay, so go to these places in between chapters, it changes how the high roads work. All of the main chapters in the game, where all of the story functions are basically curated. So what that will mean is you'll be expected to go to these places, but they're essentially going to say, hey, this is exactly where we want you to go, so just go there. And that, damn it, that's the second one. So just go there, and we'll, give you access to all of the other stuff that you'll need here. Jude, a little help here would be nice as well. Thanks.
We got this.
I'm getting out of here before that boar runs me over and I can't do this again.
Link charge.
Nothing can stop us.
Basically, the gist of what I'm trying to say is that the way that high roads work in this game changed because of the fact that now there are two separate states to the game, similar to the first game where there was an island of story and an island of dungeon crawling, or rather a sprawl of dungeon crawling that you did in between. Instead of that, in the second game, there are the curated story sections where all of the things that happen in the story are exact, basically, so they'll always be the same. There's no high roads for you to go. Well, there are high roads for you to go on in the story stuff, but it's always a linear path from A to B. And then there's free roam sections of the game in between story chapters where the game says, how do you want to make enough money to qualify to do the next story section? Do you want to go exploring? Do you want to use the jobs to do it by just running around and grabbing materials? Do you want to use other methods like the kitty dispatch in order to gain enough money by selling things or by doing jobs that require materials? How do you, as the player, want to do your in-between stuff? It creates this dynamic where the high roads and exploration itself in Tales of Xillia 2 is entirely player-driven, and I prefer that by a long shot because it doesn't feel like you're withholding anything from me then. It just feels like I'm being told, hey, go explore however you want, and when you're done, we'll have the story here for you. So, at least that's the way I see it. And I would rather that they do it that way, just because of the fact that it allows you to basically putting the flow of the game into the player's hands rather than it being only in the control of the developers. It creates a little bit more agency for the player, and I think that that is helpful in creating a better experience for the player. Again, it's why I enjoy this game a little bit better than Xillia 1, because Xillia 1, it felt like the developers were withholding things from me. In this game, things don't feel like they're being withheld from me, in so much as I control, okay, so I'm still doing side stuff. Right now I'm in side stuff mode. When I want to do main stuff, I'll pay the fee, and I'll go do main quest stuff. So I control the pace, basically. I control the flow of the story. I control the flow of when events happen. And being an active participant in that just inherently makes this a better game for me specifically. I don't know how everybody else feels about that, but having that control, due to travel restrictions, we can't go any farther than this. Okay. So we can't go there to get any cats, but we can check how our cats are doing. Our cat is almost done. We can even wait on this menu to see if they'll come back. I've actually never waited on this menu while the cat is just about here to see what happens, so I'm just going to sit here and wait for a second and see what happens when the cat is done. Is it going to make like a ding sound like my toaster oven when it's done doing things? It looks like there's nothing left on there, so maybe I have to go there to get the kitty has returned thing. And there we go. Nameless Seed and Claricite. Okay, that's only the first. That's actually the second and third item. We didn't even get any of the first item. That's interesting. Torbellon High Road is available now for us to send the cats to. So let's send the cats there. And honestly, just looking around in the places and finding the treasure bags and everything like that should get you
Find something good.
a decent supply of kitty crisps to use pretty much every time you send out a cat. So, Jude, why are you at such low TP anyway? Don't I have you on store? Yeah, I do. Okay. Well, that's bizarre. But anyway, doesn't matter. Did we get anything new here? Yes, Fury Stoke hidden target. And Luger got level restore. How about that? 2 SP for complete restoration when you gain a level. It's just as good as it was in the first game, so definitely apply that bad boy as soon as you can. It's great. I will take it. Now we've got HP gain, TP gain, and level restore, and we'll eventually have access to food. We have to build up a little bit in this game in order to get the same benefits that we had in the first game, but it will be massively worth our trouble. Trust me. Any new arts? Lunar Reflection, Armor Crusher, and we upgraded Time Disintegration, Falling Thunder. I'm not a big fan of any of those, honestly. I don't really like Lunar Reflection. It's okay. What it does is it's kind of like, is that Mirage Blitz in the first game for Jude? I don't think I ever demonstrated that, but basically you spin and you hit the enemy, and then you come back to where you were standing before. So, I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of that. And I guess Armor Crusher's pretty good because of the break enemies guard thing, but right now I've kind of got a good thing going with Time Disintegration and Falling Thunder. Oh, I have access to Swift Strike as well. I might just switch that to Armor Crusher, to be honest, because, like, I'm not really using Swift Strike at the moment. I don't have access to the arts that let me guarantee a stun, which would let me guarantee a crit, so since I don't, I might as well just, you know, take that off. Jude, how are you doing on your light element here? You have 301. Okay, so we definitely want to swap that off for Pebble now to get you access to level restore. What else could you get? Hidden Target, Swallow Dance, and a whole ton of other stuff that I don't really particularly care for at the moment. So, Crimson Fury. Nice, that's another art. That's actually, it launches enemies, and I think once you use it 100 times, it'll let you use it in the air to launch them even higher. So that'll be useful, because then we'll be able to do that L1 plus square thing at the beginning of a combo after Falling Thunder, and we can just continue the combo, you know. Crusher. Easier to inflict magical ailments with Spoiler, so that's cool. We get Stamina at 610 Light, Spirit at 610 Dark. And that's the gist of it for our stat boosters, so that's cool. And actually, now that I don't have access to the world map, we actually have to manually walk back to Triglyph, unfortunately. We'll gain access to the world map eventually. It's not really something that we need well, it would be nice to have at the moment, but it's not really something that we need to particularly concern ourselves with not having at the moment. So I thought that little discoloration on the wall was a treasure for a second until I got closer. Oh well, that's why I walked towards it. Doesn't really matter though. But I think now that we have explored basically everywhere that we can except for Marksburg, it might be in our best interest to actually go to Marksburg and do some story stuff. And once we've done the story stuff there, we can probably head back. Well, we can head to Helioborg after that once we make enough money, but I think we'll call it a day, basically, once we've taken care of business in Marksburg. And hell, by the time we're done, we might have gotten some of that tanned leather that we need to do that one job, so might not be a bad thing. Yeah, like I said, I kind of want to try to do the next couple of chapters before I really go in terms of fighting enemies on the way through here. Because the longer that you wait to fight the enemies on the high road, the more likely you are to actually have access to encounter links. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is the less you have to do in terms of having everybody else get enough elemental ore to continue. You don't have to do as much fighting to get that, so yeah. Let's see, less high road stuff. I think the Scorpion Tails are primarily available from beating Scorpactus, so you can worry about that later. Ancient Fish Scales are available on the Last High Road as well. Well, we can do Chip Claw now, so I guess that's the most important thing. So let's just turn that in. Did he need 2? He did need 2. Okay, so I guess I'm glad I got 2. There we go. It's okay to cry. Housewife needs onions. Okay, sure, I'll do that one too. I don't want to do too many of these, so that I don't end up like going over the amount again. Alright, well we can get the cat thing on Torbellon High Road when we get through there eventually. This one's still in progress. 480, 490, 490. So I don't think we'll quite make it to the gold total that Nova wants for the next thing. So let's just see. Nope, we made it. Barely too. Damn it. How do I want to do this? I don't actually... This is actually scientifically valid anyway for me, though, because if I pay the whole amount, she might let me go to Helioborg, which would make our previous trip that we just took completely pointless, but... do I want to use my money for anything? I want to use my money for the Fiskard, to be fair. I'm just going to cancel this. Like I said, we don't have to pay her the first time that she calls us if we're close to the amount, but she will bug us eventually to make us pay once we get to a certain point, so... Now, if I buy the Fiskard here, I'll end up going under the total again, and then that will eventually allow me to... oh, it makes him strong against strike. That's interesting. I didn't know that that was an inherent thing from guards. Although the guards also give him some defense, although that does make sense because they're guards, you know, they're fist guards, so of course they would give him a little bit of defense instead of just... So Jude is a little more defensive now than he used to be. That's nice. What was I saying? Yeah, so we don't have to pay Nova immediately when she calls us. I wouldn't recommend trying to blow her off for too long, though, because she eventually will get her money no matter what you do. That is worth 8,300 gold. Stop by for a sample at the inn in Fenmont. That is worth 80,300 gold. That is, you have no idea how tempting that is right now. It would put me well over the limit in terms of Nova's paying at the moment. So let me think about that one. How would I want to do that? Actually, I could do it this way. I can quick save. You know, actually, instead of quick saving, let's go to an actual save point. I'll save it. Then I'll go sell the bourbon, because that's a lot. Like, and we won't have access to that until we have access to Fenmont, which is a little bit of a ways away yet. So if I save, then I sell it, and then I see, like, we'll have to pay her at that point because we'll be over double the amount. Like, we won't be able to cancel out of the transaction at that point. But it will let me see if I can unlock both Helioborg and Marksburg at the same time via selling them. So let's go see what happens here. I'm not sure, which is why I want to know. My scientific curiosity is getting the better of me, so let's go find out. Yeah, so we're well over the limit at this point. So, and here comes the
Address me
Popo.
as Agent N. I shall accept your repayment on behalf of the one known as Nova.
But yeah, you see how it won't let us cancel out of it now because we're that far over the gold limit. Basically, once you get a certain amount over, they're going to say, no, you have to pay us. We know it's in your pockets. Give it up. So, but yeah, there we go.
Might sound funny coming from me, but money really is the root of all evil, huh?
You're just now waxing that in your brain? You've received a bonus for your hard work and paying back your debt. An item is waiting for you in the mailbox on the first floor of Luger's apartment. Check when you get the chance. So what's the next payment? 7,000. Okay, well, we've got more than enough money to do the next payment anyway. And it gets us access to our first bonus item. So bonus items, when you pay off a certain amount of your debt, you'll gain access to these bonus items by checking your mailbox. And they're worth a pretty decent amount. You can get some things that are, you know, pretty common, like Kitty Crisps, that sort of thing. But some things are significantly more uncommon. As a matter of fact, some of them are exclusive to the mailbox, like certain skill books that you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. So let's check what's in this one. Just Kitty Crisps this time. So nothing particularly special, but again, the more of it you pay off, the more exclusives you get. And eventually, some of those exclusive skill books get pretty damn good. All of the Impregnable Guard skill books are actually locked behind the debt repayment as a bonus package for your mailbox. So yeah, if you didn't have any incentive to get that previously, now you have tons of incentive to get that, because you cannot get Impregnable Guard in this game as easily as you did in the first one. In the first one, you could just grab it in Ord Palace, and as long as you didn't forget to get it and, you know, leave or something to the point where you couldn't come back, you were golden. But in this game, not so much. If you want that, you're gonna have to pay. There is no choice in the matter. So, I wonder if I should sell this. No, I think somebody wanted it at one point, so maybe I'll wait, because I think it was worth a little bit more to them than that. So, anything I want to get from here? I could get a medium pudding cake. We got so much money at this point from that bourbon. I don't even know. I'm going to grab another Mabo curry, though, because that'll be useful. Okay, and yeah, the minestrone is now available in the shop. It is very expensive to buy, but again, now that we know, when we see Bakuras, use one of these. Even if it's just a tomato omelet, a minestrone, what have you. Bakuras aren't that common, so just get something that, I think the highest end version would probably be the best, because it's probably only worth it for one battle. But yeah, if we see a Bakura from now on, that's what we're using. Whichever of those we have. We'll probably only see one per dungeon, so it'll be worth it to keep that. Now, that being said, I don't want to go actively hunting for Bakuras for a little while, at least not until I have as many party members as possible, so that way less people fall behind, you know. So. But anyway, we had to go to Marksburg, so now we'll go to Marksburg and we'll see what's going on here. Now that we have access to Kitty Dispatch, I'm going to kind of take once-overs around pretty much every area we go to. That way, if there are any cats, I can find them. So, yeah, and the only way to find out is to head out to the Ilim Harbor. Let's see what we can find here. I think, though... Okay, this is the inn, so that's fine. Elim Hotel. But yeah, like I said, Marksburg kind of came on the map recently. Basically, since the schism was dispelled. That's the gist of the lore of the town. But I think the music here actually changes depending on which side of the schism well, where the schism was, you're on. So if you go to the Rize Maxia side, there's actually a different tune that plays. And that's kind of interesting. Okay, so it looks like the food shops are all the same, at least for now. I wonder if the changes to the food shops are based around those quests with the attendant there. Excuse me. It's a distinct possibility. I'm not sure yet. Okay, thanks. I don't think these guys open up their shops until after you've taken on both of these chapters. So, yeah, there you go. Anything new available here? Let's see. No, these are all the same ones that were on there before. Alright, well, Jolene, I'll be with you eventually. Just gotta figure out where I'm going. Okay, the alleyway down there is where I'm going. So let's head this way, and we could cross the bridge, and that would take us all the way to Rize Maxia. But before we do that, let's just search out, see if there's any cats, and then go find an objective. And take care of our objective first. Then we can go to the other side of the schism, where the schism was. The area formerly known as Schism. We can go there later. Does make me wonder if one of the cats is gonna like try to blend in as a friggin' bird in one of these places or something. They'll probably tell me if that's the case, though.
There's some crazy lady here.
You would find that funny, wouldn't you, Jude? Why would you say she's crazy, Elle? Oh, my cat's returned. Hold on. Before we talk to the crazy lady, let's go see what my cat's got. Anonymous seeds and lumicite. Okay, well that's interesting. Not the tan leather that I wanted, but, you know, I guess it's there. So... area bonus, all areas. Okay, so probably if I wanted the tanned leather, I'd probably want to get it, like, tomorrow. So I'll work on that tomorrow. Either way, crazy lady. Yep, proceed through the main story. The monster in the alleyway. And as it turns out, that monster is...
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty.
A cat. Well, I found the cat in Marksburg. Might want to use a boss's touch with this one. Rollo's a pretty good boss, so... Also, hello.
Nothing to see
Nice
here.
get up.
Move along.
I was going to say, what's with the...
Leia?
Are you helping the cat dispatchers now?
Were you talking to that kitty?
Not exactly. I need to catch it for a special assignment.
I thought you were
What
a
kind of
newspaper
special
reporter,
assignment
Leia. What gives?
requires you to catch a
I
cat?
told you it's a special assignment.
Are you doing odd jobs for the gig economy just like us? Well, Rollo, I am Rollo's subordinate, so I'll see if I can get the cat. How about that? I have a way with cats. Apparently not enough of a way with cats, because that one did not like me. Maybe I should let Rollo do it. There you go, sweetheart.
Now I
That's
gotcha,
better.
Julius. Julius?
Uh-huh. That's his
Is that
name.
the cat's name?
Julius Constantine III.
That's Julius?
So that's the Julius
The
of
third one,
Marksburg.
apparently. I've been asking all over about this cat.
So, the person asking a lot of questions about Julius is Leia.
Anyhow,
Well,
thanks,
that's not
guys.
exactly
This
the
cat
lead that I
belongs
was
to our
hoping
biggest
for.
Advertiser.
Where are my manners? This is Luger Kresnik.
My
Nice
name's
to meet
Val,
you.
And this here is Rolo.
I'm Leia Rolando. It's a pleasure to meet all of you.
So, Leia, are
Seems
you
like
a
you've
cat
found
catcher?
new work since,
Huh?
you know,
No way.
last game.
I'm a newspaper reporter. Think of me as a truth catcher. It's an honorable job.
I'm glad you see it that way.
Speaking of...
Seems like a
have
bit
you
of a
heard
career
anything about the
change
train
from
hijacking?
innkeeper assistant,
that right there's
but,
the story of
you
the
know.
decade. Last I heard, they put out a warrant for that spurious bigwig, Julius Kresnik, I think. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
that was the
Julius Kresnik?
Julius we were
Did
looking
you step
for.
into trouble again?
Every time. There's no escaping it.
But Luger is...
You know,
I
like
know,
the
I
cat
know.
that just got
He's
away.
a friend of yours.
That's always his excuse, isn't it?
Huh?
Duval. I have an informant there.
You-
She's super duper
Oh.
in the know, so I'll introduce you guys.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
now we're getting somewhere.
I guess that's more than we were getting previously. Through the choices you make during events and during skits, you can increase Luger's affinity with the other characters. Again, we talked about this previously where we saw that Jude got a little boost. Leia got a little boost from me saying, I'll go get the cat right there. So that affinity, and yeah, if you link with the characters, you'll also gain affinity through doing that, as we've seen with Jude. You can only increase your affinity once per skit, so I guess based on chatter with the characters, you either choose the one that gets your affinity up with them or you don't. That being said, there are 3 characters in the game who can gain affinity boost from certain choices and certain dialogue options, but do not have a character portrait that shows up in the choices. Usually those decisions are pretty obvious, but I will attempt to talk about them when they are ones that are obvious to me, because they might not be obvious to everybody. So, but yeah, good things are sure to happen if you deepen your affinity with other characters, and you can view the state by pressing square on the status screen like I've already.
Where'd Mr. Kitty Cat go?
Oh no! He got away! After all that work.
Wah, wah. Well, I'm sure we'll find him again when we find a cat here in Marksburg, because I'm sure the Kitty Dispatch will
I've
figure
seen
it
him
out.
before.
Oh, not again. Are you telling me Ivor's here somewhere, too? Great. Just what I needed right now.
So you got sick of being a pampered pet and decided to explore the great outdoors. Sure, sure.
Well, he
I
found
feel you, kitty.
Julius
Take it from me,
Constantine
though.
III.
This world is nothing but one big litter box.
Ivor?
I mean, if you treat it like a litter box, it's gonna be a litter box,
Grab
Ivor.
that cat for me.
Huh?
Ivor, you're not
There it
helping.
goes.
Wah, wah. What's with the smashing stick?
See that? Even the deadliest creatures run in fear of my mighty weapon.
The one you
Don't be
can't hold
afraid,
correctly?
cat.
Thanks.
Okay. Is this a
You
present
don't
from
even know which end is
Mr.
up on that
Bakur?
thing.
I mean, okay, he's gonna fight me to show me which end is up. Got it. Okay. Hi, Ivor. So, Luger gets a new weapon. Now, you might be wondering, how the hell are you going to equip a two-handed weapon? You already have 2 weapons for your hands. Unfortunately, Luger is not Asura from Asura's Wrath, so he's gonna have to switch.
All right, take up your sledgehammer.
So, hold L1, press circle in my case, the change target button. It swaps to the sledgehammer. And swap back to dual blades. Okay, I guess you could hold L1 and press R2 to do it. Sledgehammers are, yeah, they're useful and surrounded. A lot of their arts that you can use are based on AoEs around Ludger, and they usually have a decent amount of splash on them. They can also break Iron Stance pretty easily. So the dual blades apparently work better in one-on-one situations. Time Disintegration has pretty good cone on it, but apparently these work in AoE.
You better nail this because it's hammering time.
This guy's weird.
You don't say. He's also weak to strike, so just beat the shit out of him with it. And see how it broke his guard there because of the fact that it's a sledgehammer. So of course it's going to break his guard. Alright, so with the sledgehammer we have access to a couple of different arts. We have Crushing Blow, which is a critical hit on a downed enemy, and we have Power Swing, which will knock him into the air, sending enemies flying. So you use Power Swing. It's kind of similar, really, to Time Disintegration into Falling Thunder. Use Power Swing, use Crushing Blow, and you're good to go. We also have access to a water art now, Psychic Restoration, which is basically Luger's version of Guardian Field. So it's not too bad. And actually, you should keep an eye on these skills that are like Psychic Restoration for the remainder of the game. Healer is another one of them. But basically, every character in this game gets their own healing art of some kind, whether it's First Aid or Pixie Circle to that effect with Leia and Elise, or the regular melee characters get something like this as well. Like Luger gets Psychic Restoration, Elvin gets Guardian Field. So keep an eye out for those because they are useful. and they can be used in a multitude of situations, whether you need healing or you need damage. So, anyway, since we broke Ivor's Iron Stance, let's just do this and then do this.
Too close.
Okay, well, that wasn't anything, so let's wait it out.
Too close.
But yeah, you'll notice that Power Swing, because he's a human opponent, Ivor cannot be hit with a critical hit from whatchamacallit, Crushing Blow, unless you catch him in the air like that, I guess. Yeah, see how he techs out of it? But normally enemies won't tech out of it as easily, so it will make it a little bit easier for you to hit them that way. So. But yeah, see how Psychic Restoration, it added another element to that, so if we kind of wait a little bit until that's almost at the end, we can add another element. Now, Terra Spin obviously isn't going to help me, but he's also got a status. I don't remember what that is. I think that reduces his chance of guarding, or rather makes it easier for me to break his guard. I forget. But yeah, usually just end a combo with Power Swing and you'll probably be good in this fight. Doesn't really... If you need healing, you can always just use Psychic Restoration by running away from him. But this fight's kind of hard to lose, to be honest. It's meant to be a tutorial, so of course it's kind of hard to lose.
Hey, ease up! Psychic Restoration!
I should have Crushing Blowed there. That was my bad.
Power Swing! Crushing Blow Blade.
There.
You're so beefy, Luger.
And again.
I could sure go for some beef right now.
What? And again, if you have the ability to use Crushing Blow, use it, because that guaranteed crit will deal significant damage. I just dealt almost 800 damage with that one hit because Ivor didn't tech out. I don't know if that's because he was against the wall or what in that case, but it is telling to me, though, that he gave me 0 Gald. That might be indicative that boss fights don't give Gald in this game. I don't remember if that's the case, but if that is the case, it's going to be a little harder to get Gald than I was hoping. We'll see. Anyway, new arts because of our work on Yggdrasil already. We get Hungry Hunter, which is probably one of the quintessential arts of the hammer. We also get Hammer Toss, which lets us throw it out in front of us, and then we upgraded Power Swing over. So there you go. Hold on a second, let me turn on Hunter's Nightlight while I'm here. Temperature dropped into about 76 degrees for him, so that should be very comfortable. And I'll be turning the air conditioning on after this, so he'll be even more comfortable. Hey Marie, how you doing? Welcome back. Still streaming, just woke up from a 4-hour nap and wanted to watch the VOD. Ah, okay, there you go. The VOD will be live soon. I just figured I might as well do some story because we did Chapter 3, but Chapter 3 was like one cutscene. So I said, okay, let's do some hunting to get ourselves up to Chapter 4, and let's do Chapter 4. We aren't going to finish it, but...
Don't go swinging that thing around town.
Yeah, well, I'm not you, so I don't have to worry about that too much.
Some people have no consideration, I swear.
You fought me! What are you talking about? Anyway.
What are you gonna do about the cat?
Oh, come on. We have more important things to worry about, don't we? Now,
I mean,
off to Duval.
I guess. I love how Ivor's just limping away in every one of the angles there. But yeah, for finishing this section, you actually get access to Leia in your party, so that's kind of nice. She is... For now, she's similar to how she was in Tales of Xillia 1. She's kind of a hybrid healer. She's a better healer than Jude because she has access to first aid. She primarily focuses on single target healing, and she has access to strike element weapons as well as Jude does, though her strike element at the moment, I'm clarifying on that specifically because she gets much, much better later on in this game, but at the moment, Leia is in about the same place as she was in the previous game, where she's a worse Jude on the attacking side, but a better healer. So, there you go. So yeah, first aid, Rapid Lunge, Earth Roar. Is Earth Roar new? I don't remember if Earth Roar is new for her. I think it is. I'd have to look, to be honest. But yeah, all of her elements right now, Earth and Strike, so she doesn't really have a lot of versatility. Trust me when I tell you, they boosted Leia significantly in Tales of Xillia 2. it really all revolves around one single art that she gets that allows her to make safe landings when she's in the air, but it changes everything for her in terms of her aerial game. So we'll work on that. I'm not as big a fan of Power Swing, though, to be honest. I use it for the fact that you need to use it for the tutorial, but it just... Enemies like to tech out of it a lot. So I'm not as big a fan of it as I probably could be. I like Hungry Hunter a lot better because it's basically a miniature beast. It hits in front of you. It deals large amounts of guard break. It's not that expensive on the TP considering it's basically beast. I think if you upgrade it later, it'll increase in terms of its ability to break guard as well. So it's pretty good. And then there's Hammer Toss. I might actually stick Hammer Toss here, to be honest. Which is very highly expensive on the TP for the moment, but it is our first fire elemental attack, so that's not too bad. And you can charge it up as well if you're kind of away from an enemy too, so that's not too bad. I don't think that increases the TP cost. Also, Ludger's a healer now because I can just use Psychic Restoration to heal anybody I want, so that's kind of funny. It's kind of nice and kind of funny. But Hungry Hunter, if it knocks the enemy down, you can then use Crushing Blow to get an immediate critical hit. So there you go. Should be good. Alright, Leia, you have Circlet and Leather Guard already, and that's not a Lamellar Guard, so since that's the case, I'm going to give you the boots, and we'll get you a Lamellar Guard when we go to Triglyph, or Duval. We can go to either one, actually.
I heard back from my informant.
So.
She said she's waiting at Duval Station.
Okay, fair enough, then that is where we will need to go. Leia the reporter.
Exclusive expose. The terrible untold truth behind terrorist train tragedy.
What do you expect to find out of an interview with me? Because that's what it seems like you're trying to work on.
Investigative journalist Leia Rolando unravels the shocking mystery.
Did she monologue to herself in the first game, or is
Leia,
this new?
What are you writing?
Just jotting down some notes for an article. An article? You're like a reporter.
That is what she said she
there's
was.
no like
yes.
about it.
Those aren't articles, they're just dramatic headlines. You can't write a story to match a predetermined conclusion.
I believe that's called brainstorming, Jude.
Professional journalists don't accept unsolicited advice from amateurs, mister.
That is not... Leia, you have to know better, okay? You have to say, hey, so I'm writing potential headlines for my potential article. If the article changes because the events are different, I'll change the title. But I gotta figure out a way to get to the readers somehow.
As a professional, are you hitting your deadlines? You can't just copy off my homework the morning before class like you used to.
Oh my god.
Jude, why do you hate the free press so much?
I think he just doesn't like you
What does any of
procrastinating.
this have to do with the free press? I'm talking about professional responsibility here.
I'm a researcher now, Leia. I have some amount of charisma to maintain.
Jude and Leia, they're like...
Oh, good lord. An old married couple. Yep.
Married? Whatever could you be talking about? Seriously now, do we really look like that?
Didn't Ivor just say not to swing that stuff around in public? Ow, ow, ow! Well, I think I deserve that one.
Leia's strong.
She just knows the right places to hit.
It wasn't on purpose.
Are you
In
sure?
Leia's case, the staff is mightier than the pen.
Jude, you might want to watch out. She'll be hitting you next. Anyway, Leia's back in the party. Awesome. So now we've got some information that we can get from her, well, informant at Duval Station. But what will be waiting for us on the other side of the train? Will it be something rather tame by comparison to the craziness of the first episode? Well, I think we all know the answer to that one, but if you're not sure, we will confirm it on the next episode of Tales of Xillia 2, the Stream Edition, which will be happening on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Yeah, holy shit, Leia, please. She's back to old habits again. She's just taking it out on Luger instead of out on Jude because I'm the one that said something. I decided to open Luger's big mouth that never opens and basically never speaks. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. And I will see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will be on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Until then, everybody, take care and have a good one. Oh, actually, before I go, since I said I was going to talk about this at the beginning and didn't get a chance to talk about it, the reason why everybody's so weak in this game, even though they were using the Lilium Orbs in the last game, is because Lilium orbs don't exist anymore. They mutated into Allium orbs, and every skill that they had available on them was just evaporated. So that's why everybody's so weak. There's actually an in-lore reason for it, which is simultaneously either interesting or kind of bullshit. I guess it depends on the way you look at it.